Department does. And Attorney General's Pam Bondi, as well as Biden's Merrick Garland, should both answer questions in general about the investigations. It is their responsibility to do that, and President Trump should order it. All fair-minded Americans understand you cannot link innocent folks to Epstein in any way, but a general explanation to the public, essential. Back in a moment. President Trump signed a new executive order to lower prices on prescription drugs, as you know. But change takes time. So All Family Pharmacy is offering 20% off all meds now through June 30th. A great deal. No insurance needed, plus prescriptions and delivery are included. Just choose from more than 200 medications like ivermectin and more. Please visit allfamilypharmacy.com/bill. Use the code BILL20 for 20% off today. allfamilypharmacy.com/bill, code BILL20. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Kenny Williams, how you doing, baby?
Morning, Vic.
All right, big show today, Rock'em Sock'em style. Nick Schroer, our state senator.
Yeah, he says he's ready to kick some ass today, so,
Is he going to kick my ass?
No, he's on the phone.
But if he were here, he would?
I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, my God. I heard it on the X at 9:25. Major Fred Galvin, a Marine, retired Marine. He's got a great book called A Few Bad Men, the true story of U.S. Marines ambushed in Afghanistan and betrayed in America.
Right.
This is the stuff. We talked yesterday to George Lutz. I don't want to go back through the story, but his son died in Afghanistan. And, this book, Fred's book, may explain why George's son died.
Right.
Michael McNamara, his book is called From Trauma to Joy, Life-Changing Lessons That Fellow U.S. Marines Taught Me After Traumatic Events Occurred in My Life. Lessons that apply to anyone. And it's Marine Day, I guess, today.
Yeah, but this also applies to the tragedy that we face in Texas and the feelings that we have about it. I mean, a lot of people are suffering. They don't even realize it. So maybe this can help them too.
Drew Thomas Allen, who never pulls any punches. And maybe we'll listen to some Looney Tunes a little bit later on today. What do you say?
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, it's always fun. So who leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance today?
Someone we haven't heard from in a while, listener Kim Landgraf.
Where's Kim been?
I don't know.
She hates us now?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Kim.
Hi, this is Kim Landgraf. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He's known by many names.
We the people are in charge. We are going to save our republic.
Nikki Two Shows, Schroer the Thrower. Twitter trolls love to hate him.
We love Vic Porcelli so much.
He's Nick Schroer, Missouri State Senator.
Morning, State Senator. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys this morning?
Hey, good, Nick.
You laughing at me?
I think you're just in a good mood.
I'm just in a great mood.
There you go.
Hey, before we go any further, our great show called Shall Not Be Infringed, great 2A show, has a new host, and he's our great friend, Aaron Tarlow. And we're going to talk to him tomorrow at this time, 9:05, so we'll find out about that. All right, Nick, so I need your help with something. I need your help to answer people who say, hey, I voted for personal time off for part-time workers. I voted for that. And then the governor took it away. How do I answer those people that say that?
Well, that was an interesting vote down in Jefferson City, because anytime you're going to modify, in my opinion, anytime as a Republican, if you're going to modify what the people voted on, you have to do some sort of scientific experiment to figure out, okay, were you really advised as to what was going on? And the reason I say this, go back to Clean Missouri, Cleaner Missouri, when George Soros and all these out-of-state billionaires were funding this campaign. The girl from Hunger Games was on there. Arnold Schwarzenegger was on there. You had all these Hollywood actors saying, we got to clean up the lobbyist reform. We got to clean up the ethics reform. But not once did they mention during that campaign what it really did. And that's giving. And you can even put this into ChatGPT, into Grok, and it'll tell you there were no mentions of going to the only statewide Democrat at the time, the auditor, to redo all of the districts and hand the census and the new districts that are redrawn every 10 years to the Democrats. So after people wised up and they saw the implications of that, we put something back on the ballot and gave them a chance to vote on it again. That's very similar to what's happening with Amendment 3, the big life issue. But this one's a little bit different because we didn't put anything back on the ballot. This was a statutory measure that was mainly focused on the minimum wage increase. That's all I heard about. And when I got to Jefferson City in January and we started talking about the implications, I had business owners going crazy over the paid time off and the implications that would have, indicating that they would have to fire people. They would have to get rid of the lowest men on the totem pole. Typically, your entry to the workforce, your minors that are just starting to work at 16 years old. So the hearings that went on through the year, I heard a lot of people saying, look, I didn't even know. I just thought this was about the minimum wage increase. I had no clue this was about paid time off. And then you had a lot of the, remember Obamacare, when you had a healthcare plans being forced to cover birth control, even for men, where it's like, look, I don't even need this stuff. That's what was happening in the workforce as well. When I listened in and tuned into the hearings, you had hospitals coming in saying, look, we're contracting with these doctors. They don't need paid time off because they get paid when they work. That's the agreement that we have. So modifying that, which I voted for modifying it. And look, to my understanding, the voters are going to have another shot. Once again, the out-of-state billionaires, the Democrats that are wanting to overtake the private property rights and the rights of entrepreneurs and job creators, they're going to put something back on the ballot once again. Republicans need to do a better job of educating the voters before this becomes an issue in Jefferson City, where we have to reverse it.
So citizens will be able to vote again on the paid time off deal?
Yeah, it's my understanding there's another ballot initiative. They're getting signatures. They're going to try to do this again. And this goes hand in hand. The entire discussion that I just had, this is why we have to fix IP reform. This is why we have to modify our judicial system, because what I think is single subject, some of the bills that I passed this year are very much single subject. You've got things like Clean Missouri that the Supreme Court said, no, we're fine with this. It's got 15 different subjects, but it's all kind of dealing with ethics reform, even though it's not. And that's where we get issues like this, where you've got the paid time off, raising minimum wage. And look, I'm a true believer that the minimum wage should be zero. I think every single job creator should be able to negotiate with Vic Porcelli, with Ken Williams. Hey, you want to come work here? Yep, it's merit-based. How much are you worth? Okay, $30 an hour. You guys won an award for best show in Missouri. Holy cow, you're going $100 an hour. I think when the government's coming
I
in
like that.
That's the best one yet.
When government's coming in dictating what private businesses can and cannot do, you're handcuffing it for everybody.
Okay.
Rather than merit-based, where you've got a young kid coming in, okay, 15, 16 an hour, versus you've got award-winning talent like you guys, rather than the job creator being able to say, okay, I can cut loose over here and pay these less talented guys like Nick Schroer. You know what? Let's not even pay Nick Schroer. Let's give it all to Vic Porcelli and Ken Williams.
Give it all to us. So what? Okay, so Nick, I'm just playing devil's advocate because I want to have an answer for Democrats, for liberals who say, look, see, the Republicans rigged the game. I voted to get people paid time off for part-time work, and we voted for that. So if they vote for that again, can Kehoe do that again?
Yeah, it really depends. I've heard that there are some initiatives that they're trying to get. These out-of-state billionaires knew that we were going to work with the job creators and listen to how bad this truly was. So now they're putting something on the ballot that would take away the legislature's ability to ever modify anything that goes through the ballot initiative process. Now, that would handcuff the people in this republic. This is not a democracy. This is a representative republic, similar to when we passed the heartbeat bill. We passed the heartbeat bill. The people sent us back. And then a couple of years later, they've got this Amendment 3 initiative that is heavily funded, out-of-state millionaires, and even people from Switzerland were funding this campaign to change our Constitution. The people, they barely voted for that. They were deceived, but yet they continue to send a supermajority Republican Party that knows, yeah, this thing might sound good on paper, and I hear this all the time. When I explain bills and why we vote on bills the way that we do, or at least I do, they say, look, that's why we send you down there, so you can get into the weeds and figure out the true implications of how this is going to impact the state. And I'll tell you what, if we wouldn't have taken action on this issue with the paid time off and the minimum wage, you would have seen unemployment skyrocketing in the state. Economists were saying that this would have resulted in job creators saying, all right, screw it. If we're going to have to give everybody paid time off, even the people that don't need it, even the people that have been contracted that they're not going to have to use this stuff, then we're going to have to start laying people off. So this is the real reason we have a representative republic in our state and not a pure democracy.
Everybody wants to vote for the little guy, right? But the little guy is not going to have a job because the little guy who has a small business is not going to be able to be in business anymore if they do a lot of this. All right, let's move on.
That's exactly it.
Joe Biden and the auto pen scandal. I saw something fascinating, Nick and Ken. It was it had 4 documents that Joe Biden, in quotes, signed. And what they did was they took all the signatures and brought them together into one, and they were all 1,000% exactly the same.
All right, Vic and Nick, this is what I propose. They're saying, oh no, he signed all of these. Okay, take every one of those and do just what you said, Vic.
Because you know who it was? It was Kathy from Harvard who called one time and said, write your signature a whole bunch of times.
Oh, from Boston.
Yeah. And I wrote my signature like 5 or 6 times, and every one was different.
Right.
So the auto pen's a little too perfect, Nick,
Well, this is something that Attorney General, I just saw him yesterday, Andrew Bailey, Eric Schmidt, our whole delegation. Heck, we've been calling this for years, that the guy was so diminished, he had no idea what he was doing. Now we have the evidence, and I've seen this for months, that when you compare all of those pardon signatures, they're all the same. And you know what, the whole auto pen thing, I know there's a lot of legality issues with that, and the courts have said, yeah, as long as he had the capacity and knew that he was utilizing this, you can't just designate, okay, Vic, sign off on everything that you think is okay. And I think that's what happened here. The New York Times, of all people, I was laughing hysterically the other night when the New York Times, it's like the Post-Dispatch coming out and getting it right, once every year. New York Times says, yeah, we found out, we looked through it, a lot of these things, including the Fauci pardon. When Fauci was pardoned, this is all done late at night, very, very, very late at night after 10 p.m. And Biden's aides, they were the ones that truly signed off on all of this stuff. And we all know that Biden used to put a lid on everything with the media at 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Who knows? Was he going to watch Matlock? Was he making sure he's getting his ice cream? I don't know, but it's now evidenced with all of the cancer and stuff like that he's telling the media, hey, I'm going to bed early. I'm trying to get a lot more rest. I think we need investigations, and I'm confident. When you guys talk to Eric Burleson and you talk to Congressman Onder, I am confident there are going to be investigations into the capacity that Biden had when all of these things went down, because there should be, and I think there could be, challenges to all of these pardons. And we even heard from Senator Rand Paul this morning saying the fight must go on. I think these are invalid, and I'm coming after you, Fauci.
Wow. I go ahead, Vic, because
Okay.
I'll have to remember what I was following what he was saying. I lost track.
How was DC, Nick?
DC was good. Had a great time. Sat with a lot of the secretaries, the cabinet secretaries. We heard from Linda McMahon, which kind of coincides with what the Supreme Court just pushed down. I think it was yesterday or the day before, saying that, yes, Donald Trump does have the power to dismantle the Department of Education. This is going to be huge. But what was very interesting to me, you had a room full of Republicans. And let's be honest here. The vast majority, I think, of the Republicans in that room we are for school choice. We are waving the Trump flag. We are wanting to empower parents to make the best decision for their kids. But there were some others. And I looked at them and I saw them applauding Linda McMahon talking about empowering parents, sending the money to them, not the school districts. That they were applauding. They were getting pictures with Linda McMahon. So I'm hoping we don't have any Joe Biden amnesia when it comes to next session and we're pushing these big education choice bills. I want them to remember what they were applauding, who they were applauding, and what they were agreeing to by saying, yes, we're standing with you, President Trump, and your agenda. It includes school choice. So I'm hopeful after these meetings, cabinet secretaries did a phenomenal job. We're going to break it all down on Stand and Fight, so you're not going to want to miss that one. I ended up losing my my ID in the West Wing, so I'm hoping it's not found anywhere near Hunter Biden's mysterious bags of cocaine. But we did get a West Wing tour at the end of the night. I don't know where in the world my ID went, but it's a trip that I think we're going to have to do again, and hopefully we can bring News Talk with us.
Hey, real quick, guys, I remember what I was talking about because you were talking about the auto pen, Nick. That's right. Your name, Nick, right? Not Vic. Okay. Anyway, the auto pen, Joe Biden, I read the article that he said, well, I didn't sign individual ones so much, but I did authorize like categories of people based on certain categories. So in other words, they grouped a bunch of people into a category, and he goes, yeah, go ahead and auto pen all those.
It's a bunch of crap. This is all a bunch of crap.
They can't let go of this.
Never mind.
No,
all
they
that.
can't let go of
They
that
can't.
issue.
Never mind all that crap. Anything about the cookies?
Yeah.
No, I could not find any information on the cookies. I looked around in the Oval Office. I poked my head in there and I looked around to see if there's any cookie crumbles. I talked to a couple of the Secret Service to ask them if they received any cookies, and I was very close to being arrested. And I had to explain, look, this is all part of a thing going back in St. Louis radio. They were not amused by it, but I was not taken into custody. My wallet, I still have my wallet. I don't know where my ID is. Maybe the Secret Service took it because of the questions I was asking them about Cookiegate.
So no cookie trail, nothing. I bet you didn't find any cookies at all. I bet.
I didn't find any cookies, but I did find one thing interesting. There's the Roosevelt Room, which Roosevelt, however you say it. A lot of dignitaries go in there. When we were there, now I didn't get to see him, but Benji Netanyahu was there during that exact time that we were there, and he met the president in the Roosevelt Room, and I found out that they used to call it the Fish Room. The Fish Room is another nickname of the Roosevelt Room because the two Roosevelts would have aquariums in there. They had a bunch of fish tanks and fishing awards. I want to see pictures of that because now it's the Roosevelt Room. It's very nice and good pictures everywhere. But yeah, the stories we're going to be talking about, the cabinet secretaries. Linda McMahon stole the show. Several of these people stole the show. Donald Trump has assembled the Avengers team that's going to make America great again. And the key here is they brought Missouri up there to Washington, D.C. to illustrate the fact by making America great again, the only way we can do it is empowering the states and making Missouri powerful again, making Missouri great again. And we want to give you guys all the power back once again. So that's what I'm very hopeful for. Never had a president like Donald Trump. And we're going to talk more about it this Sunday, Stand and Fight, 6 to 8 p.m.
There you go. I was going to say that, but you can be a Thunder Stealer. That's fine. Sunday, 6 to 8, Stand and Fight. Nick Schroer, thank you so much, man.
God bless you, boys. Have a great week.
Hey, God bless you, Nick Schroer.
This is a scandal. I swear to God. This is a scandal.
It is, Vic.
There's no way 3.5 dozen cookies are set.
I think here I am thinking you're talking about this auto pen thing.
No, the hell with that.
The cookies.
3.5 dozen of cookies from the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show, and not one made it to President Trump. Not
I can't
one
believe it.
Cookie. Well, you know what? We'll find out Friday from Nate.
Or Thursday.
Well, right, but Nate's doing the show Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a lot of splaining to do.
He does.
Yeah. All right, when we get back, I heard it on the X on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Live and be well.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Woosh.
Tony Colombo here for my dentist, Dr. Matt Boscia at New Creation Dental Care, the one-stop shop for all your family's dental needs. And Dr. Boscia is always expanding his services, now including the incredible all-on-4 full arch implant procedure, full mouth restoration that can give you back your smile in as little as 1 day. No more suffering with damaged or missing teeth or poor-fitting dentures. You can see some amazing smile makeovers, learn more about the all-on-4 procedure, and see everything Dr. Boscia can do right now at newcreationdentalcare.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Nate Lucas here for the Village Bar in the heart of Des Peres. Since 1948, the Village Bar has been the go-to destination for delicious food, cold drinks, and unbeatable atmosphere. Savor their famous wings, burgers, and onion rings, or grab a drink from their fully stocked bar. Catch all the big games and enjoy the company of their friendly staff. Plus, don't miss the 1879 Distillery, a one-of-a-kind experience right next door. The Village Bar offers the best value in town. Find the Village Bar on Facebook and come experience where history meets great times. You'll be glad you did.
St. Louis's new choice for conservative talk.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Live and local.
Welcome home. And whoosh, sitting in traffic, stuck in a jam, and being entertained by Vic and Thunder Stealing Ken.
This is News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I make this pledge to you today. I will never, ever ride a bicycle.
Woosh.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right, good morning. 1019-94.1 News Talk STL. I'm Vic Porcelli. That guy over there, his name is Ken Williams. And every Tuesday at this time, we do a little something that we call I Heard It on the Act.
Anywhere, y'all. Everywhere, y'all. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it on the X.
All right. We scour X to find some interesting quotes from people. And then we report them to you on I Heard It on the X. So we'll start with Jesse Waters from Fox News. He says, and I know you want to talk about this in depth a little later, Ken. This just in, the warden of Alligator Alcatraz says he caught Democrats inventing hoaxes mid-tour. You ready for this? They pointed a thermometer at a light bulb and complained it was too hot.
Wow.
That's what you do when you're in school and you go to the school nurse and you want to go home, right? You either rub the you rub the thermometer on your pants.
Did you actually ever really do that?
Oh, absolutely.
I did it too. And she looked at me and goes, 120. I don't know. Maybe I'm pretty hot.
I'm hot. So I thought that was funny. But yesterday we were talking about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, one of the most dishonest representatives in Washington. And she said just things that you knew weren't true. I mean, I don't even have to have anybody prove it to me. And I knew she was lying.
Yeah, you just see it in her eyes, in her crazy eyes. Which, by the way, there's a picture of her. Her one eye lingers to one side. So what I did is I called up ChatGPT and I put her picture in there and I said, could you give me a photorealistic picture of this photo in a screen from Men in Black, so we could just look at it and think of it as being one of the aliens. And they did it.
Oh,
it was great.
All right. Our next one is from the handle Toxie Avenger 2. The name Common Sense is no longer common. And it says, if Democrats fought for Americans as hard as they do for illegal aliens, America would be in a wonderful place.
So true.
I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy to say and do. Stick up for actual Americans, and we'll be great.
And you're going to have simple disagreements between the two parties. But, man, if you just both work together, that would be amazing.
Rob Jenkins, his handle is prof on the right. Professor maybe on the right. I don't know.
Yeah.
But oh, yes, it is. It's prof on the right. And his tweet is, as we say goodbye to the Department of Education, I would like to take a moment to list all of its accomplishments over the past 45 years. Yeah, none.
There was nothing there. I actually looked around. Maybe it's in the thread.
Right.
And I opened it up and then, no,
nothing.
Not there.
Nothing there. Nothing there. And here's one from Vivid Prowess. This is quotes from the Muslim American Society Islamic Center in Philadelphia. So
listen to this, in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. And it says, we will chop off their heads, liberate Al-Aqsa Mosque, and lead the army of Allah, fulfilling his promise, and we will subject them to eternal torture. The blood of martyrs protects us. And then a reply to that post was from Ken Williams.
Such a beautiful and loving religion.
Anywhere, y'all. Everywhere, y'all. I heard it on the X.
Right. I couldn't wait for that. Couldn't wait to hear Ken say that because he says that all the time. What a loving and beautiful religion they are.
Yeah.
We'll cut off their heads and we'll put them in our soup. Okay, so Ken, I forgot to tell you that my wife hates me. And
no, really?
Yeah, she hates me because this past weekend, all we did was work. What do I take weekends off for if all we got to do is work? So over the weekend, I had to put together this shelving unit, which was so heavy, 6 patio chairs, a fire pit.
Wait a minute. You put that together?
Okay. We put together the fire pit.
No, wait a minute. We, when you say we.
All right. So Jessica put together the 6 patio chairs and the fire pit and the shelving unit. Okay. But I did hand her the screwdriver. Here you go, honey.
All weekend?
Yeah, but it was hot. Was the point.
I bet it was.
And I want you to know, as you sit there making fun of me and laughing at me, she said my face was purple. It was so hot from doing nothing. I just sat there. And I tell you.
Well, it's humid in St. Louis. It's very humid.
People either have the mechanical brain or they don't.
Yes, I agree with that.
And that is mutually exclusive to gender. Because these things, the chairs, there was bags of screws and bolts and stuff.
Things like that.
I don't even know what they do.
I bet they even had washers in there. Damn it.
I don't know what a washer is. But
did they have an Allen wrench?
Yeah, I think I did hear the word Allen.
Okay,
wrench
yeah, they
in
usually
there.
have Allens in there just to have them in there. I think they're in everything now.
Every time you have to put something together, they give you an Allen wrench.
Yes, they do.
To the point where you can have a collection of Allen wrenches and sell them on eBay.
Oh, sure.
The whole collection of. So anyway, so I sat in the chair. That was not one of the new ones, one of the old ones. And I'm just sitting there watching her. And she looked like she might have needed a screwdriver. Do you need this, honey? No, not yet. Okay, put it there. And she just like looks at him. She's sweating, right? She's sweating. And she's so there's got to be do you call it a nut or a bolt?
Which one? I don't know. Where are you?
So you put the screw in, but you got
the screw could be the bolt.
On the back end of the screw.
Yeah.
You have to put
the nut.
A nut on there.
It wouldn't be a screw though. It would be a bolt. If you have a nut, it has to be a bolt. A screw you can just screw right in.
But it had to have this thing on the back.
So therefore,
it was a nut.
It was a nut, so
okay.
it had to be a bolt. Yeah.
Okay. So, wait, what are you talking about?
No, I'm not going to get it.
It wasn't a screw. It was a bolt.
Well, if it has a pointy end to it, it's probably a screw. It screws in. But if it's if it has a flat part to it and it just screws in, then it's a bolt.
How do you know all this?
I have no idea.
So anyway,
my dad.
She had to hold the nut.
Yeah.
With her left hand.
Yeah.
So it didn't move. And then she put the powered, screwdriver.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So it went all the way through.
Right.
That's all I wanted to say.
Well, good job, Jessica. Well, opposites attract, Vic.
That is true.
And so therefore you've got a perfect relationship. As long as Jessica's happy doing that, which it sounds like she likes it.
She does. She
okay.
does. And it's been that way our whole lives together. When we first started living together, I went to the bathroom and I flushed the toilet and something snapped. I didn't hear, the toilet didn't flush. The handle's like going around in circles. And I said, I think we need a new toilet. This one's broken. She goes, we don't need a new toilet. So, Ken, she put a shoestring. She tied a shoestring to something inside the back of the toilet.
Right.
And then it flushed again. I was like, how'd you do that?
Yeah, there's a cup down in the bottom that, and never mind. The handle connected.
Yes, I'm listening.
No, it's okay. I don't want to go into that.
So I'm tired from all the building I did over the weekend.
You did a lot,
The
man. Well,
The chairs and look great. The shelves. Can I say something?
They look good, though.
Great. Everything's great. The shelving unit thing, no screws, no bolts, no nuts, no tools, nothing. There were 2 holes, right?
Yeah.
And you put the thing through the first hole and then you jam it down into the smaller hole. And then it's firm and secure. No screwdrivers or anything.
So it was really easy then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did it like that. It was a piece of cake.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it. I don't know how to do it, okay? God. I'm not lying.
At least you admit it. That's the first step, is admitting it.
Right. I go to meetings every Tuesday night. I'm Vic, and I'm unhandy.
I'm unhandy. Hi, Vic.
So NewstalkSTL and the Hammond Center for Free Enterprise are bringing Steve Forbes to Lindenwood University on September 18th with the help of the Young America's Foundation and West and Mid Rivers News Magazine. Free event, Scheidegger Center at Lindenwood. It starts at 7 o'clock on the 18th. Get your tickets for free at NewstalkSTL. All right, we will talk to retired Marine Major Fred Galvin about Marines being ambushed in Afghanistan and betrayed in America. This story will make your blood boil, I think, Ken.
Yeah.
That's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Number 1 for live and local conservative talk.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. Vic and Ken. Ken can build a deck. Vic can build a sandwich. The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Colombo and Company.
Democrats trying to exploit Republican division surrounding the Epstein files. We'll discuss their recent actions Tuesday. Plus, Crane Durham from NothingButTruth.com and Susie Moore from Red State.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
Hey, Jamie Ullman here with my common sense brother, Rob Very, owner of STL Bath and Renovation. And let me tell you something, your home is your castle, but so is your bathroom. Rob, how can you make it beautiful?
Jamie, if you're tired of cleaning, you love the tile, but you hate the grout, we can give you man-made or natural stone in your bathroom for your floors and walls, but no grout. Easy to maintain.
And beautiful. All kinds of selections as well.
More than you can count.
STLBR.com, St. Louis Bath and Renovation, STLBR.com. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Jamie.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. I invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. You can stay connected with us to learn more about how you can get involved, make your voice heard, and contribute to our shared goals. Together, we can make a difference in the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. For more info, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
It's a brand new year. Tim Jones to tell you about the brand new things happening at The Hideout, famous for the Sunset Patio, 50 big screen TVs, live music and events, a fantastic game room, and of course, the food. The Hideout has a brand new menu featuring their world famous wings, the best handcrafted burgers, new items like the signature Sunset Dip and Dave's Chili, and a second location at Sugar Creek Golf Course in beautiful High Ridge. Experience The Hideout while enjoying a round of golf. Come in for lunch or dinner. The new 2025 Hideout, hideoutsportsbar.com, hideoutsportsbar.com. We'll definitely see you there.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hey, this is Jim Florentine, and you listen to Vic and Ken on the Vic Porcelli Show on 94.1 and 101.9 News Talk STL.
Thank you very much, Jim. This Saturday night, 6 to 9, JC's Wayback Machine. You know, here, a perfect example. China Grove by the Doobie Brothers. Great song.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
But do you ever get to hear, like, Jesus is Just All Right or anything like that?
No.
By the Doobie Brothers? Come on. It'll be 6 to 9, Saturday night. I'm not saying this, he'll play that song, but that's the whole gist of the show.
Yeah.
JC and the Wayback Machine, Saturday night, 6 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's welcome our next guest, Major Fred Galvin. Major, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for serving.
My pleasure, Vic. Thank you for having me as your guest.
Our pleasure and our honor. So your book is a very scary title, Major. A Few Bad Men, the true story of U.S. Marines ambushed in Afghanistan and betrayed in America. So let's take those one at a time. Ambushed in Afghanistan, I assume that is a reference to the Abbey Gate and Afghanistan withdrawal debacle by Joe Biden, right?
Actually, this happened prior to that. I was the commanding officer of the very first Marine Special Operations Company. We went into Afghanistan in 2007, and we were ambushed in a very complex ambush by the Taliban. It started out, we were coming into this village to do a tribal leader engagement. We got blown up by a van filled with fuel and shrapnel, and we got shot at on both sides of the road. There was a sniper position hitting us, an obstacle in front, trapping us in this kill zone. And we did what American Marines are trained to do. When we're attacked, we conducted a counterattack, and then we returned to the base. 20 minutes later, they had a two-pronged attack on the information warfare side that said that we had mowed down and killed women, children, elderly. It was falsely alleged that we'd killed more women and children, civilians, than with machine guns than any allegation in the Afghan war. That led to a war crimes tribunal, and I'd like your listeners to read that. You know, if this could happen to a group of Marines and their commander, myself, I was on the patrol, Midwest guy there from Kansas City. If this could happen to us, and you've seen similar situation, similar with this allegation with our Air Force B-2 pilots saying, you know, it was ineffective, and you're just allowing unqualified rumors to spread and circulate and defame, you know, those who are right there, frontline foot soldiers, whether it's ground or air. And this kind of character assassination has effects. Fake news does have effects. And for us, even though we were exonerated in the longest war crimes tribunal in the Marine Corps history, this led to devastating effects to Marines' health, employment afterwards. And that's all in the book. It wasn't a fair fight. And unfortunately, a lot of this was done by our own United States military. Leaders perpetuated this because there were some things they did not like, such as in the Marines, we were the very first, as I mentioned, Special Operations Task Force to deploy, and the Marines did not want an elite within an elite. And what some of our senior leaders did is just, it is unconscionable that they would do this. And but it's facts. You read, this is a nonfiction book. It took me 11 years, Vic, to get this declassified, the courtroom transcripts.
Wow.
And when you read the last half of the book from the courtroom trial, that is all verbatim sworn testimony of these witnesses that the government prosecution would continually move the media out of the courtroom during all defense witnesses' exculpatory testimony. This would happen again and again after 3.5 weeks in the courtroom. They would just, so the media got one side of the truth, and that caused devastating effects as far as the professional destruction of our character, making it impossible to find employment after retiring from the Marine Corps.
You know, it's rare we get a total inside look at things like this, and your book has it. And I just want to let people know again, the book is called A Few Bad Men, the true story of U.S. Marines ambushed in Afghanistan and betrayed in America.
Major, doesn't this sound a lot like what happened with the war in Vietnam? I mean, a lot of the news media and the politicians got involved and just jacked it all up. They didn't. Actually, America fought with both hands tied behind their backs, and then they had to still face embedded people for the first time, the press, spewing a lot of lies about the soldiers there too, right?
Exactly it, Ken. We had a very similar situation as what was going on in Vietnam, where the enemy was, in Vietnam, things were different. There were civilian casualties, some unintentional, some intentional, that occurred. And I'm not making a call on that. I'm just saying, in our case, we had 30 Americans that were on the patrol, to include myself. We made sworn statements. I took a polygraph, and there was 0 civilians. I mean, when you classify it as, did they have uniforms on? Absolutely not. But did they have weapons in their hands? This occurred at started at 9:03 in the morning, broad daylight. But for Americans to pick this up, the virtue signalers, just like Congressman Murtha did with other Marines involved in a situation in Haditha, Iraq, and say these Marines killed civilians in cold blood. And you had a lot of this virtue warriors, making it seem like I would never do this. And that was started from our military leaders. And I really ask your listeners to, look into this case. You can web search our unit name or my name and look at what happened. You see military leaders going to the press. This is well documented in this book. Leader after leader, up to the Commandant of the Marine Corps, up to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. And these are the senior most leaders in the chain of command. Even our commanding general of the Marine Special Operations Command talking about this case during an ongoing criminal investigation, mentioning this in derogatory manner in the press again and again and again. How can our American Marines get fair shake when all this destruction is going on and you're making biased comments in the press? It's what they should have said is there's an ongoing criminal investigation. These Marines have the right of innocence until proven guilty, and we will get to the bottom of this. But instead, they just made these horrible comments and to the press again and again and again. And you have to read. I mean, it's available on Audible too, if people want to listen to it. It's just shocking to see what the entire chain of command did to us, to include members of Congress in the House Armed Services Committee, like Congressman Smith from Washington State, just destroying us in the press.
Unbelievable.
None of that should have gone on.
So let me ask: was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley at that time?
Unfortunately, it was a Marine, 4-star General Peter Pace, made comments to the press that he spoke to the Commandant of the Marine Corps, and that the Commandant of the Marine Corps said, quote, he was very disappointed in the conduct of those Marines.
Wow.
So none of that should be going on at all. Of course, when the late Congressman Walter Jones, God rest his soul, he did not know us. We did not have any contact, nor our families. There's no direct or indirect contact with Congressman Walter Jones, who showed that moral courage, stood up and said in the House of Representatives in May of 2007, saying nobody should be making comments such as these. These Marines' rights have been maligned. He made some very bold statements immediately following the Commandant of the Marine Corps, who had already mentioned to General Peter Pace, who made those comments to the press. Then General Conway, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, said nobody should be making any comments. And it's like, well, you already did.
Right.
And when the 4-star general says that, and when our 2-star Marine Special Operations Commanding General went around the Marine Corps and had formations of Marines and destroyed our reputation, saying that we murdered, women and children and civilians, that's what people believe. And it's just like if you walk into work How do you get that back when the senior most leader in your organization does something, makes comments about something that every nation and every religion on this globe condemn as a heinous crime, and that influences jury pools that when we stood trial at this tribunal.
I'm just curious. Ken, can you do me a favor? Can you look something up for me?
Yeah.
Can you see if Mark Milley was a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in 2008?
Okay.
Because I got some questions about him. Anyway. This is a stupid question, Major, but bear with me. You and I watch a lot of TV and I see a lot of commercials, and the Tunnel to Towers commercials just break my heart. You didn't lose anything, arms, legs, during that attack, I hope?
We did not.
Okay,
One
good.
of our Marines was impacted with some shrapnel. As it's described, it hit him in the bicep. He was a turret gunner on our second vehicle where that van detonated point blank right in front of that Humvee and knocked him down inside the turret of where he stood up in the vehicle. And so he immediately stood up and he was on fire.
Oh my God.
The flames. But even though he had a piece of shrapnel right in his bicep, there's another vehicle that came on our left flank from the south side of the road. It was driving, and 3 other jihadists were hanging out of the window. There's a 4th person, a driver, and they were coming in to finish that Humvee off. And he stood up, Vic, aimed in his medium machine gun, and immediately went to work in killing those 3 jihadists. The driver,
God, it's unbelievable,
gets out of that vehicle.
The Marines, I swear to God, unbelievable. The courage, bravery. I can't talk about it for too long because I'll get all emotional. So let's talk about current day things. Iran is demanding the ability to enrich uranium even after the bombing. Is negotiating with Iran even ever possible?
So at 17 years old, I left there in Kansas City right after graduating high school and went to join the Marines. And I'll say this. I remember our drill instructors telling us in the summer of 1987, they said, if Iran takes another shot at one of our ships, we're going to go to war and you all will be on the front lines. And I say that because Iran has been taking these cheap shots at us, prior to me even joining the Marine Corps. They and their proxies, whether it's Hezbollah that attacked the American embassy in 1983, whether it's Hezbollah which are funded by Iran, and they attacked the Marine barracks in Beirut, Lebanon in 1983, killing 241 Americans. This has been happening again and again, whether it's the weakness that happened in the last administration, where there was several hundreds of attacks by the Houthi rebels backed by Iran against our American ships, and these Iranian proxies hitting our American Marines, to include some of the men that were on this patrol who continued to serve. And those same Marines are getting blown up in Iraq where they continued to serve. This has been going on again and again. So you cannot trust Iran. Iran has never done any favors to America. They talk out both sides of their mouth, and they're going to attack us directly or indirectly, whether it's Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, different militias in Iran. And if they have said for decades, death to America, we need to take the wax out of our ears and believe every single word they say,
right?
Because they mean it, and they're dead serious in trying to enrich uranium or trying to do peace deals. That is nonsense, and it's never going to happen. That's the ultimate form of what the phrase in Islam of taqiyya, meaning they will say one thing to deceive the infidels. And I've had this happen in shuras that we've had to go in and sit down with tribal leaders. Oh, there's no Taliban here. And what do we hear immediately on the radio chatter? That, we're about ready to get attacked. So every time we sat down, whether it's Iraq, Afghanistan, they'd say one thing. The next minute, we're getting different chatter collected on our radios from that we are about ready to be attacked. Oh, there's no Taliban, no Mujahideen here. So America, we need to pay attention when our enemies, who've been saying this for decades, they call us to our face in these shuras. They call us infidels, and we know what's going to happen. We know what they're sworn to do, and they will do it. So we need to be wise in our decisions.
And this is why I think President Trump should tell them when they say, because they have said, we will negotiate with you, we will sit down with you as long as you don't do what you just did to us. Well, no, if you don't do what we want you to do, then we're going to do it again. That's the way I think they should move on it.
Yes, absolutely. We need to be the ones that set the conditions that, okay, from right now, you will allow weapons inspectors in, there'll be full inspections, and we have the technology, and I'm not going to go into it, but we have high technology that can detect any type of development of uranium enrichment, but we do need to have boots on the ground, and that does need to be a multinational force to confirm that this does not go on. There's no need for Iran, with all their energy that they have, to go nuclear. And they've, of course, lied and used the international press, and it's sick that so many people believe and believe these causes of Hamas going on in Gaza that are sympathetic to, these awful, ridiculous things that Hamas and Hezbollah have done to Israel, and they will support, free Palestine. I mean, this kind of movement going on, it's not just in America, which is shocking and detestable. It's going on around the globe. If you see what's going on in Europe, in Australia, and there's mass protests, and from the river to the sea. This type of thing, we need to wake up and understand that what their intentions are, and that is to destroy the little Satan and the big Satan. And just because it's on the other side of the globe doesn't mean the threat is reduced. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. We need to wake up and listen to their rhetoric. It has been consistent for almost 50 years.
All right. Major Fred Galvin, retired U.S. Marines. The book is called A Few Bad Men, The True Story of U.S. Marines Ambushed in Afghanistan and Betrayed in America. Major, thank you so much for your time and your insight. We really appreciate it. And I hope people read your book and really hear all those, all this excerpts, and not excerpts, but full testimony in your trial. So we're behind you. We appreciate you. And let's talk again soon if we can, okay?
Yes. Thank you, Vic, again. Have a good day.
Take care, Major.
So Ken looked it up. Milley was not a member of the Joint Chiefs in 2008. He did until 2019, you said.
Right.
And that's when he became a traitor.
That's it.
Sorry. Treason. All
and
right.
He was brought in by Trump, by the way.
Milley was?
Yeah.
And then Trump called him an idiot, and that hurt his feelings.
He learned. Trump learned.
Tim Jones here from my great friends at Comprehensive Chiropractic, the premier chiropractic and sports performance facility in the region. How do I know? Simply put, they've helped me on many occasions. Here's another solution to your everyday aches and pains. The Studio Health and Wellness Center. Services include Pilates and yoga, both with certified instructors. I can also highly recommend the massage therapy, which is not an indulgence. It's a proven method of healing and restoration. Trust my friends at Comprehensive Chiropractic in Eureka, cchiropractic.com. That's cchiropractic.com.
For 3 generations, one family has ruled the road in quality asphalt paving. Ruby's King of the Road Hot Mix Asphalt Paving. Family owned and operated. We're your leading authority for driveways, lanes, and parking areas. No project is too small or too large. We cater to both residential and commercial needs with unbeatable quality at just $38 per square yard plus labor. Call 636-295-9949. 636-295-9949. Ruby's King of the Road Hot Mix Asphalt Paving. You save when we pave.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. An Israeli ultra-Orthodox party leaving Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition government. The party, United Torah Judaism, cites a number of disagreements over a measure granting military draft exemptions for religious students. Israel, meanwhile, carrying out a major airstrike inside Syria earlier today to protect its Druze allies from an attack by Syrian tanks. Former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Dr. Michael Oren.
Israel has what we call a blood kinship between the state
and Druze people be the Jews and the Druze. And when Druze countrymen, when their relatives are under threat in Syria, Israel will come to their aid.
And Dr. Orange says it's a very close kinship.
And the Druze live in Israel, they live in Syria, in Lebanon, and in Jordan. And in Israel, they are intensely loyal to this country. They serve in the army. My own commander, several of my commanders were Druze, very, very fine soldiers.
Also at townhall.com, NVIDIA is getting approval to sell AI chips to China. Here's correspondent Charles De Ledesma.
NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang says that the technology giant has won approval from the Trump administration to sell its advanced H20 computer chips used for artificial intelligence to China. The company shared the news in a blog late on Monday, and Huang also spoke about it on China's state-run CGTN television network. The White House announced in April that it would restrict sales of NVIDIA's H20 chips. I'm Charles De Ledesma.
John MacArthur, pastor of Grace Community Church, Sun Valley, California, has died after a battle with pneumonia. He was 86 and a longtime valued member of the Salem Radio Network family. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You work hard, you build wisely, your home has become one of your greatest assets. If you're staying put this summer, this might be the perfect time to put that equity to work. Whether it's funding a second home, helping your kids get their start, or simply creating more margin in your financial life, Mike and Brian at Fellowship Home Loans are the only ones I trust to guide you through it. They've done loans for my family. They tailor every loan to fit your goals. Fellowship is a direct lender and operates with your best interest in mind. If you're looking to access your equity through a refi or exploring a HELOC for some cash this summer for a second property, or maybe tackle those updates you've been putting off, start with people you trust, people I trust. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Let's be ready for some spotty to scattered thunderstorms to develop this afternoon before fading away this evening. These storms aren't going to hit everybody, but those that do pop up could produce some briefly strong winds and some really heavy rain. A muggy high today of 89, heat index touching 95. Back to dry tonight under partly cloudy skies, down to 75 early Wednesday morning. Tomorrow, a hot high at 93, heat index of 101, partly cloudy with a slight chance of storms. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
It's absolutely military week. I'm 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. We had a great conversation with Major Fred Galvin from the Marines, retired colonel. Heartbreaking stuff, though.
Retired major.
What did I say?
Colonel.
Yeah, he was a major. And every Wednesday on Vic for Vets, we do a little tribute to different people who served. So please send those in to us. How do they do that, Ken?
For your honored veteran of the week, send in the name, rank, and branch of service, of course, and then a story, if you can, to Ken at NewstalkSTL.com. That's Ken at NewstalkSTL.com. We'll get it out there and just highlight your veteran.
And we'll be out at the Wall That Heals at Jefferson Barracks Park next Thursday, July 24th from 9 to noon. It's a replica of the Vietnam Wall from D.C. It's great. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but we encourage you to come out. You guys all love the military, and I apologize to Allison and Ed, who asked me to ask the major to say thanks for serving, and I didn't. So I'm sorry about that. But Okay, let's continue on. Michael F. McNamara has a book. His is called From Trauma to Joy, Life-Changing Lessons That Fellow U.S. Marines Taught Me After Traumatic Events Occurred in My Life, Lessons that can apply to anyone. Michael, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for serving. Tell us the trauma, and then we'll get to the joy, okay?
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, guys. And I never met, but I know of Major Galvin.
How about that?
And so God bless you guys for focusing on veterans a little bit. And honestly, it's an honor to be a veteran. It was an honor to go fight for this country, and one of the great privileges of my life. So thank you for doing all that you guys do.
Well, it's a privilege to have you on the show with us. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, so the trauma for me starts when my parents separate, divorce when I'm about 19, 20. They never speak again. I graduated from college. I go to work in the financial industry. I hated it, so I joined the Marine Corps. And 1993, I'm the officer in charge of a training event in 29 Palms out in the desert. Helicopter crashes about 75 yards from me. The pilot's decapitated. The co-pilot crushed to death. We're trying to save the two Marines in the back, and everybody dies. 3 years later, in my hometown of Sacramento, California, my sister's husband murders her two kids when she says she wants a divorce and is moving out. Then he beats her and kills himself. I go to Iraq and Afghanistan 3 times. I come home. I get divorced, something I never thought would happen to me. And then one of my 2 younger sisters freezes to death as a result of alcohol poisoning and cold weather. And so I couldn't get away from this stuff. And I've done some, listen to this, boys.
Yes, sir.
I am the 2007 National Association of Broadcasters Small Market Personality of the Year, doing a talk show I did up in Minnesota, North Dakota. And so I had background in broadcasting. I started a podcast, and I started interviewing people. Now, I want to talk about mental health because in the Marine Corps, our suicide keeps going up, but our fighting has gone down, and none of us understand it. And so, but I know Marines will not listen. The podcast is called All Marine Radio, but Marines aren't going to listen to that. I know that. But because they're Marines, you could trick them. So that's what I would do. I would say, hey, we're going to talk to Sergeant Major Porcelli. He was the squad leader in the Battle of Fallujah, and it's going to be awesome. So, and we talk.
Yeah.
And those conversations are crazy always. But then 2/3 of the way through the interview, I would ask them all, so what happened when you came home? And I heard a variation of the same story over and over again. And it was, well, this stuff started when I was a kid. That's why I joined when I was 17, 18, was to get out of a bad place. And then I came in, and then it got worse. And then my wife left me. I started drinking. I never talked to anybody. And 3 times I had a gun in front of me. Once it was in my mouth. And I heard this story over and over again. And as these thoughts began to crystallize in my head, that people are telling me the same things and I need to share them, I began doing a presentation in 2019 called Post-Traumatic Winning. Not post-traumatic growth, not post-traumatic we'll do okay with it and try really hard the rest of our lives. Post-traumatic winning. At the end of the day, we win, it loses. And I've been doing that since then. And then I published the book, From Trauma to Joy, in March of this year. So that's the trauma section of my life.
All right, let's before we move on to the other part, I'm so sorry that you got to that point. I mean, this is what bugs Ken and me. You know, that's why every Wednesday we honor a veteran on this show. That's why next Thursday we're going down to the wall that heals for the Vietnam Veteran Memorial, because people, I don't think, understand. They go through their daily lives, and I guess, you know, that's what they do. But they never think about somebody who walks up to a helicopter, one guy's head is missing, another guy's dead, crushed to death. I mean, that had nothing to do with your injuries physically, right? But certainly mentally.
Right. And what people need to know, though, is since we went to the all-volunteer force, we're not a representation of America, okay? We are a subset of America, And that subset has a lot more trauma when it comes through the door. And here's what I found. Veteran suicide is not driven by combat operations. Very, very few veterans ever go to war. Even the ones who go to war, very few participate in the daily killing and life saving that goes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Veteran suicide is driven by child abuse and child sexual abuse.
Wow.
Exactly. And I didn't know that. I mean, and I had to comment on the Marine Corps, the guy who ran the Marine Corps on, and we're talking about suicide in 2017, I think. And he says, well, Mac, you have to understand, 80-90% of our suicide, they've never even left the country, let alone go to war. And I was like, what? My head almost exploded, right?
Wow.
Because we all thought it's operationally related. And I'm like, and my thought was, as a jackass Marine, they don't rate to kill themselves. What's their problem? Right? And I had no idea how much child abuse, but think about it. Who's looking to get out of town at the age of 17, 18, 19? Who lives in a home that isn't very conducive to academics?
Yep.
And that is a lot of young people that go through a lot of stuff. And so that's why the lessons I learned, they're not about veterans. They're about anybody who goes through difficult things.
Man.
And you know what? That's right in line with the way conservatives think, protecting children out of the gate, because we know that everything falls in place from that childhood.
Well, I will tell you this. I didn't know a lot about RFK. And then when he conceded his speech, about a year ago, I watched it. And he's going through all those statistics about American health, right? And I don't care what you think of RFK. If you go down the statistics about American physical health relative to the rest of the world, it's pretty stunning. I will tell you, and this is a conservative message too, we did the same thing with mental health, right? What did the VA want to do with me? First thing, do you need medications? No, I don't want them, right? And then you can go to therapy for the rest of your life, right? Either you can pay for it, or the VA will pay for it, or you can go. That's a path that, so trauma sends you into the valley of the shadow of death.
All right, now let's talk about. I'm sorry.
So the punk Marine in me is like, why would I take the meds and walk down the valley when I could turn left or right and get out of the valley?
Right.
But somebody's got to teach you how to get out of the valley, and that's what I do now.
So let's talk about the joy.
The joy is the day of the helicopter crash, one of my senior Marines comes up to me and says, "How are you doing, sir?" I said, "I don't know. I'm washing blood off my hands and forearms." And he looks at me and says, I said, "I haven't had time to think about it." And he said, "You're never going to get over this, right?" And I said, "What?" He said, "You'll never get over this." And I can't use the language that I used when I told him to get away from me.
Thank you.
And that I didn't think the therapist said that at that point. He said, I said, "Who told you that?" He said, "Vietnam guys told me that." And it really helps. And the message is, you will never get over the things that traumatize you. How could you, right? The next part is, when you struggle, you know what that makes you? A normal human being. And you can still live a great life. The question is, what do you do when you struggle? Do you go to a pill and do you go to some therapist? Or do you do things like go move your body outside and get in the sun and fresh air? Talk about it with somebody who loves you and will not judge you. If you'll simply do those two things, I will tell you, you can change your life today, right? Get your money in order, save your money, take financial stress out of your life, learn to meditate, learn to use breathing. But the thing that I learned that's most significant in the book is, once you learn that skill set, that gets you out of the valley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The transformational event is teach somebody else. And at some point they're going to look at you. Somebody will look at you and say, "You remember that night we had that long conversation? Yeah, a couple months ago. Yeah, I was getting ready to kill myself that night. And the only reason I'm alive is because of you." And that is the journey from trauma to joy. And that's how you do it.
Unbelievable. You know what? I've said it a million times. I don't know how you guys can be so brave, find the courage. I couldn't do it. But thank goodness we have people who can do it. And then coming back, of course, is a whole nother war, inside your head. So there's a guy here in St. Louis, Michael, I want to tell you about. I'm sorry, we're talking to our retired Marine, Michael F. McNamara. His book's called From Trauma to Joy. I wish I could remember his last name. His first name is George, and he's a mechanic. He's got a body shop, and not a body shop, but he's got a garage, and he finds soldiers and people, Marines who have PTSD, brings them to the garage, and together they build a race car. And then when it's done, the soldier or Marine or whatever he is gets to go to, what's the name of the racetrack?
Oh, Worldwide
Technology Racetrack, and do it at 100 miles an hour if they feel like, And I'm just like, this is such a great give back to people who maybe have seen, Michael, things you saw in that helicopter that day.
Well, or, I remember a Marine sadly killed himself, and it was a big discussion about, he was an Iraq veteran. And then one of his friends says, that's not why he killed himself. His uncle raped him when he was 7. Yeah, I mean, he was in Iraq. And so the thing that's going on at that car is you're making a connection with somebody. You're sticking your hand into the darkness of their life. And I'm going to tell you this, you have no idea what the darkness is. You have no idea. You think you might, he's a veteran. Yeah, that's not the story, though. Yeah. The backstories, he's not even telling you.
I know,
and
I don't.
So it's that connection. And my point to everybody is we can all do that. The people that are struggling, don't say stupid things like time heals all wounds. Don't say stupid things like there's a purpose in this. Don't say stuff like God doesn't give you more than you can handle. And my response to that is, how the hell do you know? Were you in the meeting when God divvied up trauma and said, let's give more to McNamara? So shut up with that stuff.
Gotcha.
Look at them and say, I'm here for you. I love you. You can always come to me. I'll talk to you. And that's what's going on at that car. It's the conversation, not the car.
Of course, right. While they're making the car.
Yeah.
The conversation. They're so smart. A couple of people in our chat box, Michael, on our stream, want to thank you for serving. And, thank you for everything that you've done for people once they get home. All right.
Yeah,
so this terrible, terrible situation in Texas with the Camp Mystic, those girls were killed.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the rescue efforts and things going on down there?
Well, my thoughts are the brothers and sisters, the parents of those little girls that were killed and what they're going to go through, and how do you explain it to siblings? And I had to tell, my father was involved in Major League Baseball. He was a manager. That's what he did. And so the story of my nephew's murder, we weren't going to tell. My sons were 9 and 6 at the time, and we weren't going to tell them because we didn't. And then the story went out on ESPN, and now we have to tell them because all their friends are going to know. And and I had to tell them. And my oldest son, who's 9, says, "Did they get in a car accident, Dad?" I said, "No. Their dad shot him in the head with a gun."
Oh my God.
My 6-year-old looks at me, and he says, "Dad, why would a dad shoot their kids with a gun?" And you have that conversation. When we were at the cemetery, the 3 of us, my youngest son, now 7, looks at me and says, "Could I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Do you think it hurt?"
Boy.
So brutal stuff, right? But what I want people to know is the first thing, if you're a parent, read From Trauma to Joy. In the next 3 weeks, I'm going to publish the second book for children called Colleen Can't Forget. And it's a child version of that, about a little girl who sees something that she can't forget. And I don't even go into what she sees, right? Because it doesn't matter. But for parents, you're going to have an opportunity to teach your children how to do really hard things in life. You're going to have an opportunity to teach them that these things happen in life, right? That when you're sad and on days you struggle, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? But here's what you do. You come talk to me. You come talk to your brother or your sister, right? And we're going to teach you how to do this. We're going to go outside and play. You can even keep a little journal of what you think. And then here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn how to do this, and then you're going to help your friends that are struggling. And so my thought is, with parents that are in my situation, they cannot protect their kids from this disaster, this awful disaster. So what do you do with it? You send your kid to therapy, put them on meds, and hope it works? I say no, don't do that. Teach your kid about life. Life gets hard, but there is a path through it. And when you can use your pain to help somebody else, there is no feeling in the world like that. No feeling in the world.
So, Michael, the more you talk, the more I'm realizing that your book actually transcends the military. It goes across all life in general.
Great point.
Hello.
Hey, man, I know I'm thick. I know I'm
we
thick.
catch on once in a while. We do catch on.
Firm grasp of the obvious, boys. Nice going.
I got it. I grabbed it.
The last line of the title, right? lessons that apply to everyone, right? Because when they hear my background, right, and they see the word Marine, they're like, oh, this is a veteran thing. No, this isn't anybody's thing. This isn't anybody's thing. And what I want people to know is there is a path out of the valley of the shadow of death. You can walk it, and it doesn't involve hopium, and it doesn't involve meds and therapy for the rest of your life. The first place you should look is inside of you, because there's an answer there.
So is John McNamara your father?
John McNamara is my father.
Manager of the year in 1986 for the Boston Red Sox.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
cow.
Yeah, right before the ball went through Bill Buckner's legs and talk about a traumatic event. Yeah, have that happen. When you have that happen, when you lose the World Series like that, you want it to happen in St. Louis, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Kansas City, not in Shea Stadium, fellas.
Right. You swept us. The Red Sox swept us in 2004. Isn't that enough?
No, my father wasn't with them, and I was rooting against them. So thank you for no help at all.
Hey, Michael, I got to tell you, what a great conversation this is. And you really opened up people's eyes. I think it's not what happened there. It's happened in their past. And it's such a great lesson, from trauma to joy, life-changing lessons that fellow U.S. Marines taught me after traumatic events occurred in my life. Lessons that apply to everyone. How'd you fit all that on the cover of the book?
Yeah, how about that? Again, when you go to Catholic schools, you can figure that stuff out.
Got it.
And I got it, Michael.
So we will put all this information up on our website and stuff, and how you get the book. I think it's really important for people to learn for their own good. Michael, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
No, thank you, guys.
All right.
Take care, Michael.
John McNamara's son.
Yeah. Only you would pick that up, Vic.
Well, he said Major League Baseball. My father was a manager.
Well, I know, but then that triggered you, and you had to, of course, go back in your mental
and it's like
trivial mind.
Being a manager of a Major League Baseball team is a major accomplishment, but to be manager of the year, that's even more of an
pretty big. Yeah.
All right, so the left doesn't want to realize it, but you know what they're engaging in, Ken? Sedition and insurrection.
They sure are.
We're going to hear from Victor Davis Hanson all about that. That's next on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
This is Dr. Bonner Cohen. You are listening to Vic and Ken on News Talk STL. They're great.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
This is Larry Connors, and my favorite sandwich at Capriati's is a Philly cheesesteak with peppers, sweet peppers, but sometimes hot peppers. I love Capriati's, and so will you.
Open 9 to 9 daily on Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
Getting new flooring can be exciting, or it can be a hassle. To make sure you have a great experience, use Michael's Flooring, like I did. Hi, it's Susie Moore, and Michael's Flooring has become my go-to for quality, variety, and an all-around great experience. They've been locally owned and operated for more than 30 years. Carpet, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile, natural stone, luxury vinyl, it doesn't matter. Michael's Flooring is ready to help. 3 locations to pick from: St. Peter's, Darting Prairie, and Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloor.com. That's igotfloor.com.
Attention, reptile lovers. Ready to discover your next scaly friend? Welcome to the Show Me Reptile Shop, your ultimate destination for fascinating reptiles and exotic pets. With 3 convenient locations in Troy, St. Peters, and Springfield. We have an amazing selection of snakes, lizards, turtles, and more. Whether you're a seasoned herpetologist or a curious beginner, we've got the perfect pet waiting for you. Show Me Reptile Shop. Visit us in Troy, St. Peters, or Springfield, and online at showmereptileshow.com.
Life's legal challenges deserve experienced representation. For over 15 years, Cole Combs, attorney at law, has been serving St. Charles and surrounding counties with comprehensive legal expertise. From tax preparation and estate planning to family law and criminal defense, Cole delivers personalized solutions for your unique situation. You have traffic tickets, need a business formation, real estate matters, one call will handle it all. Cole O. Combs, attorney at law. Call 636-949-0010, extension 3 today, or visit colecombs-law.com.
News, analysis, opinion.
This is a 100-year catastrophe, and it's just so horrible to watch.
There have been some 850 rescues.
What happened? Why did it happen?
1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
No, you're very good. You are very good.
On News Talk STL.
We've talked in the past a lot about the unfortunate turn to the hard left that Democrats have made, but in the last week, it's become surreal.
That is Victor Davis Hanson talking about the left, because Ken, when you're watching all this stuff on television, these crazy leftists, Debbie Wasserman Schultz talking about how Alligator Alcatraz is Auschwitz and they're in cages and everything.
Calling them concentration camps.
You have to wonder how far to the left they're going to turn, right?
What's happening right now, I believe, Vic, on the left, they have nowhere to go. They don't have a message. They know that Trump is winning. I mean, regardless of what they say, they know that he's gaining a lot of ground with this nation because he's doing what the nation wants. And they have nowhere to go right now. So what are they resorting to? They're resorting to violence
and sedition and insurrection.
We had this Democratic official, Sadie Perkins, and she posted that she was almost happy that we lost over 100 people, the majority of them children, in this flash flood in Texas. She said they were all white and therefore they were discriminatory. I've never seen anything like it. The pediatrician was almost gloating. It's very, very, very disturbing. At the same time, we've had now 2 organized assassination attempts of ICE agent. We've had now 10 people arrested, and they were kind of Antifa types. Democrats are saying, I don't know what I can do. These people are pushing us to the radical edge. And then you saw Hakeem Jeffries, didn't you? He was posing with a bat, like he was going to club people in opposition to the big, beautiful bill. We're getting to the
Hakeem Jeffries with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
What is he trying to portray about himself? That he's tough, that he's going to be tough on Republicans, a baseball bat. That picture of him standing up against the log fence. Did you see that? It was what's the word? Airbrushed or photoshopped to make him look slim and trim and
oh yeah.
I mean, what's his objective?
Well, it's the same objective. If you remember the Black Panthers back in 2016 election, when they were standing at the polling locations and they weren't doing anything.
Wait, what year?
This was around
2016
during the 2016 election. Yeah.
The King Samir Shabazz was one of those guys.
Right. And they were just standing there. They had guns. They actually had guns. They're just standing there. They weren't doing anything, but they were intimidating. And Hakeem Jeffries, I believe, he thinks standing up there with a bat it's like a dog whistle to people saying, "Okay, I've got a bat. You need a bat."
Wow, Ken, that was a great observation. All right, back to Victor Davis Hanson.
Yeah,
we're getting to the point now. The left is entering the era of sedition, insurrection. We had Karen Bass go to a park and confront ICE agents who were law enforcement people, obeying and enforcing and trying to restore the legitimacy of federal law, which surpasses municipal and state law, remember? And she said, you got to get out of my city. This is insurrection.
So Karen Bass has offered money to illegal aliens in her city. And you know how much money she allotted for rebuilding the Palisades, the Pacific Palisades, after that terrible fire? Zero. Because she wants to turn it into Section 8 housing.
And again, it is signaling to people that oppose. There are a lot of people out there that oppose what Donald Trump is doing. However, the majority, the people who voted for Donald Trump, are the ones who voted for him to do what he's doing right now. They don't like it on the left. They're saying, I don't like this, and there's nothing I can do about it because, yes, you did vote him in, but I have something I'm going to do now.
Right.
I'm going to virtue signal, and I'm going to give dog whistle to everybody, everybody who's on this side with me.
All right, let's hear some more from Victor Davis Hanson on why the left is getting into sedition and insurrection.
We're getting to the point now the left is entering the era of sedition, insurrection. Why is it happening? We've said in the past that part of it is that the Democratic agenda nobody wanted. They were 80, 27, 30 issues. In the first administration, Donald Trump addressed symptoms of the progressive project. This time he's saying this lunacy, it's caused by certain institutions, foundations, universities, the Democratic Party, public broadcasting, the media.
And this is, Vic, why we need to be paying attention to when they do stuff like this. We can't give up our universities. We can't give up our school system. This is why Donald Trump, this time around, he is acting. He's saying, you know what? This education system has put us from number 1 in the world to number 24 in the world for students' achievements. And so I have to do something about it. The left hates it because it's taking away money from them, but it's what needs to happen.
So let me ask you a question, Dad. If your daughter, either of your daughters, were going to go to one of these universities you see on TV and there's protests and, violence, would you send them to that school, or would you send them somewhere else?
No, in fact, we did send them elsewhere.
Attaboy.
We in fact, when we were interviewing, especially for Abby, the younger one, we had options for her because she was, she was an she was an achiever, and so we went to these different schools. And one of the first questions I asked is how culturally are people activists here on the campus, and they were like, no, we don't do a lot of that. And I thought, well, great, that's great. They can, but they're not like California University, Columbia, or Harvard, where it's like that's their prerequisite to get out there and become protesters, basically.
Oh, you're right. And they used to be such exclusive, good, great schools, Harvard and,
well, yeah,
Columbia and all those Ivy League schools. All right, I've had enough of that. Is that okay?
Okay.
Only because we don't have much time.
Right.
There's so much to do today. I just want to talk very quickly about the World Series of Poker. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right. So the World Series of Poker started a long time ago, 1970, I believe, with a main event, they called it. When it first started, there was 9 guys. That's it. You had Doyle Brunson and all those legends from so long ago. And then they said, well, let's make this bigger and bigger. So in 1995, there were 273 players in the World Series of Poker main event, and a woman named Barbara Enright made the final table, the final 9 of the World Series of Poker main event. 273 people. Well, this year, Leo Margetts became the second woman only to make it to the final table, but she had to go up against over 9,000 players.
Wow, yeah.
Little difference, right?
Right.
So Leonor is her first name, but she goes as Leo. She's 41. She's from Spain, and she's been playing the heck out of that tournament. So when you go to the World Series of Poker and you play in the main events, $10,000 buy-in, it's the only event at the World Series of Poker that is what we call a freeze out, which means you lose your chips, you're out. There's no way to get back into the tournament. Where every other tournament, and there's 50 of them or more, when you run out of chips, you can go rebuy. You can stay in the tournament if you just rebuy into the tournament. Do you have a question? You'd like to ask me a question?
Well, it's just that I in any sport that I've ever played, when you're out, you're out. And it just seems like that's the natural.
That's why the main
progression
event is so
of things.
prestigious,
right?
Because there are events with a much bigger buy-in. They have $1 million buy-in for charity.
I just imagine playing a little college ball or Legion ball where it's like, oh, we're out of the firecracker tournament. Well, how about some money and we'll get back in.
Well, but weren't those tournaments double elimination?
They were double elimination.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
They're great.
the structure of baseball tournaments.
Right, because it gives you a chance to come back.
Right.
You're just not out for sure. But I mean, we never had a chance to pay to get back.
But because you didn't have to pay to get in to begin with.
Right.
So.
Oh, I
See what
got
I'm
you.
saying?
Yes.
And
yes.
these guys have a ton of money.
That's
Don't
good.
you worry about them. They'll be fine.
They'll be okay. Yeah.
So tonight is the final table of the main event. Now, it takes so long, Ken. First of all, I wanted to say that when you're in the main event, you're playing 12 hours a day. You have to sit in that chair for 12 hours, 8 days in a row.
Okay.
It's a lot of sitting.
That's a lot of sitting, yeah.
So,
but you can stand up though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But the point is, it's grueling. Oh, and there's dinner breaks. I didn't mean to. Yeah, there's dinner breaks and there's breaks and stuff. Absolutely, but it's more of a mental fatigue than it is a physical fatigue.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So it all comes down to the final 9. What I think what they've done for the last few years is they'll play from 9 down to 6, and then tomorrow night they'll get down to 3, and then Thursday night they'll crown a winner with the final 3 players.
Okay.
That's what they've done. The World Series of Poker has moved from the Rio to the Horseshoe, Binion's Horseshoe, where it started, and it's kind of fun, and I love it. And if I'll be rooting for Leo, even though I hate rooting against Michael Mizrachi, great poker player, Italian guy, so if Leo gets knocked out, I'll root for Michael Mizrachi for sure. But this is what I live for, folks. This is what it's all about for me. World Series of Poker, main event. Okay, Drew Thomas Allen. We could do. I heard it on the X with Drew Thomas Allen tweets every week.
Oh yeah,
because he's that good.
Yeah,
he's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number 1 for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Forget about it.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Earlier, was it this week? Or was it last week? What's today? Tuesday. It must have been last week. We got a chance to see Kathy Connor.
Yeah.
From Connor Roofing, who's always so pleasant and so cute, and she's just so great. And we sat down and we talked a little bit about Connor Roofing and what really stood out to me in our conversation. It wasn't on the air. It was just us talking. And she said, we want people to feel like we're your neighbors, we're your friends, we're the ones you barbecue with on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
They want to be your friend, they want to be your neighbor, and they want to do a good job. And of course they'll do a good job. How do I know that? Well, I checked everywhere. Better Business Bureau, A+. Google reviews, 5 stars, nothing but 5 stars. Yelp reviews, nothing but 5 stars. And people who listen to this show have utilized the Connor Roofing, and they say there's nothing better, nobody better. You always get an honest estimate, no goobers.
That's right.
Quality work and great customer service when they're all done. Emergency storm repairs, absolutely. As busy as they are, they're ready to take your phone call if you had any roof damage after the terrible storms.
Well, I have them come over and just take a look. I mean, it's not going to cost you anything. And they look at it, they can say, well, your soffit's having a little problem here. I mean, they'll determine things that you never even think of.
You'd never think of that. I would never think of
I
soffits.
wouldn't.
I'm not even sure I know what a soffit is.
Well,
So
they know.
Yeah. Most guys do, I guess. ConnorRoofing.com, CONNER roofing.com.
I really like all the things you're saying.
News, analysis, opinion.
Thank you very, very much.
News Talk STL.
The Herzog Foundation is the vision of its founder, Stanley Herzog, and it exists to promote quality Christ-centered K-12 education nationwide.
Hi, this is Chris Stegall with the Herzog Foundation. We offer a wide variety of resources relevant to today's families, including a free online publication called The Lion. The lion is one of God's most majestic creatures, symbolizing strength and courage. Named for its attributes, the Lion publication carries articles covering a wide range of topics facing American families and culture, especially related to the education of children. The Lion can be found online at readlion.com. That's READ lion.com.
Sign up for The Lion at readlion.com and find dozens of must-read articles published every day. Visit readlion.com and subscribe for the weekly and daily digests so you never miss an article. Readlion.com. That's readlion.com.
Escape to Augusta, Missouri, where country charm meets endless possibilities. Just a short drive from St. Louis, discover our beautiful wineries, bike the scenic Katy Trail, and explore our rich history. Looking for romance? Our charming bed and breakfasts offer true hospitality with fine dining at local restaurants, wineries, and breweries. It's time to spend some time in the country. Augusta welcomes you. Learn more at augustachamber.org.
Tony Colombo here for All Solutions Pest Control, the team Christine and I trust to protect our home. We've used multiple services at multiple homes over the years, and I can tell you from all that experience, All Solutions is second to none. If you have a pest problem of any kind, or more importantly, just want to prevent a problem, All Solutions is the team to call. Learn more and take advantage of their incredible $67 introductory offer right now at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
Fox News commentary.
The U.S. will soon drop millions of flies from the sky, but why? I'm Tommy Lahren. Find out next.
Sponsored by AxeCap Ventures. America, listen up. Gold prices are breaking records. With inflation raging and central banks hoarding, every American should own gold. And like President Trump said, whoever holds the gold makes the rules. AxeCap Ventures owns one of Nevada's largest undeveloped gold deposits and trades for pennies on the dollar. This could be your way to ride the gold boom. AxeCap trades under GARLF on the OTC. Visit axecapventures.ca today.
Truth is often stranger than fiction. In this case, that's spot on. The U.S. government is set to drop millions of flies from the sky to stop the potential invasion of flesh-eating screwworm maggots. These disgusting maggots threaten wildlife, livestock, and humans and are set to hatch in the lower part of the country soon. If they develop into adult flies, we're talking billions lost in cattle and beef. That's why involved government agencies have been breeding billions of flies to stave off the maggot infestation and keep it from spreading further north. In short, the male flies they are breeding will be sterilized with radiation, then dropped to mate with female flies whose eggs will then not hatch, and hopefully this will lead to the die out before the infestation spreads further. Now, normally I don't like government intervening in nature, but this sure seems like a worthy project. The last thing we need is maggot infestation. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
While Chris and I are out today, the legendary Larry Connors will be into play in the big captain's chair. He'll speak with David Stokes at the Show Me Institute about a new law regarding Section 8 vouchers.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL. This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Woosh.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right, all in, Mike. I guess I made a mistake talking about the WSOP. He's got to correct me. Good morning, Mike. You got about a minute. Make it count, baby.
Heck, I'm not trying to correct you. What a lot of people don't realize is because the $10 million prize in the World Series of Poker, there's a lot of groups that get together and they buy into the top players and pay for their buy-in. And then if they win, that group wins the share of that $10 million. Because a lot of the top players don't even put up their own money to get in.
I'll tell you what. A lot of guys don't, because there's a poker league right here in St. Louis. My friends are all in it, and they play once a month, like $175 buy-in once a month. and they have 2 or 3 people from that group go to the main event. And of course, if that guy wins, they all share it. And my friend Mike Curley cashed for $15,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
So that's the way to go. Satellites are the way to go, I think.
Right. I don't get involved with that anymore. I wish I did, but I'm just don't do it.
The game's passed us
Anyway.
by, Mike. The young kids have just passed us by.
Yeah, well, because we don't have the brain power anymore.
I'm with you there. It's mentally fatiguing and physically fatiguing.
Absolutely. But no, I wasn't trying to correct you. I was just saying there's more to the World Series of Poker than just buying in for $10,000.
Yeah.
I was so fortunate that years ago I was able to be in town in Vegas when the World Series of Poker was originally at Binion's, and I got to see a lot of the players. And I think the guy that probably killed himself was one of the first winners. I can't remember his name. Young guy. I got to see him at Binion's.
Stu Unger? Talking about Stu Unger?
Stu Unger. That's it. That's his name. Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much, my man.
You guys have a good day. Thank you.
Hey, you too, Mike.
Drew Allen of the Drew Allen Show podcast.
It's people who love this country and respect freedom and want to preserve it for the future. You know, it really shouldn't be political.
Amico mio, come stai?
Ciao, buongiorno, Ciccio. Sono molto contento.
Molto contento. Drew Thomas Allen, how are you, my friend?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Drew.
We do this thing every Tuesday. It's called I Heard It on the X, and we just read some posts that people put on X, and we could use yours every week. Everyone could be yours. And it's not just because there's a lot of them, it's because they're good quality. It's good quality stuff. Good quality stuff.
That's why I waste my time on there. I know at least you see it and you appreciate it.
So let's play a game. What do Adam Schiff and Letitia James have in common?
Well, it used to be they were just Democrats and fairly ugly human beings, physically and also emotionally. But now it turns out they're both probably criminals guilty of mortgage fraud. Who knew?
And isn't that what she went after President Trump for?
Of course it is. Of course it is. So here we go. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm just going to let it all go right now and just say nothing would bring me greater joy than to see the two of them share a cell together. Maybe at Alligator Alcatraz even.
Then they get firsthand look at it.
We'll get to that place in a second. But here's what I call, Drew, and feel free to quote me on this so I get some more attention. We call it elitist egocentrism, right? The elite say, I hate Trump. Everyone must hate Trump. And then they don't realize that when that backfires on you, there are consequences.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, I think the American people and certainly the Trump voter, the sane American who's been abused by the left and the political system and the elite for so long are so desperate for accountability. And, you know, these are more, titillating announcements. And I think that the hope is that this actually leads somewhere and that people who have not because they're Democrats, not because they're awful people, but because they've actually committed crimes, these people will be held accountable for it, just like any other American. No one is above the law. That's what we should be shouting.
That's right.
And I think somebody needs to, because here Ken and I have this plan for the Republicans in Congress, and not just them, conservatives in general, talk show hosts, you know, be on the offensive.
Yes.
Don't wait till the Democrats say something you have to defend yourself. You be on the offensive and say, look, Letitia James did the same thing that you're accusing Donald Trump of, and he didn't even do that.
And not only that, Drew, but then when they do say something, or if they post something like they do on X, you respond with a bigger punch than they have. You don't just sit back and go try to defend yourself and explain. You just tell them, no, you're just a racist. No, you're just stupid. Here's why. And you explain it to them. You just bring them around. And if they don't want to, then that's their problem.
On the offensive, Drew. That's our plan.
Well, you can't accept a false premise. I mean, how are you going to get out from under the weight of that? They live in an alternate reality that's devoid of facts. So if you're going to try and debate them on something that never happened or isn't real, that they're just inventing, you're never going to get anywhere or win. I mean, you're going to lose an argument and lose just a even just a superficial, X battle or whatever it is, if you try and do that. So all you can do is just be on the offensive go on the offensive to your point, and just go for the jugular.
And I think nobody's doing that. I guess that's what pisses us off, that nobody's doing that. All right, let's talk about alligator Alcatraz, that the left is calling alligator Auschwitz. And I don't think they realize, Drew, how offensive that is to Holocaust survivors or people who never survived the Holocaust.
Yeah, I want to take everybody back a few years to 2020 with the lockdowns and the eradication of our rights for a while in the name of, the pandemic. Gina Carano of Mandalorian, who lost her agent, lost her job, was canceled very early on, kind of one of the icons of cancel culture, because she compared the political climate in America at that time to Nazi Germany. I made similar comparisons. And for that, I got nasty messages from friends I'd grown up with that I don't talk to anymore, that said, Jewish people that actually, the only thing that Jewish about them was in their blood, but they didn't care about Judaism or Israel. But they came after me and said it was deeply offensive that I could possibly compare anything to what happened in Nazi Germany or to that thing. And for that, then they told me, they immediately used the F word over and over to accost me. And here the Democrats seem to be hurrying to use, Trump as Hitler. Now it's, alligator Auschwitz. And in this case, it is actually deeply offensive. Nobody on our side was comparing, the COVID stuff to concentration camps. We're comparing it to a regime that isolated certain citizens based on their religion in that case, and here their political beliefs. And it's really just, it shows how, and this is to your point about going on the offense. You can't take these people seriously. You can't play by the rules they try to hold you to, because they don't play by rules. I mean, 4 years ago, you were condemned and cursed out for making any analogy to Nazi Germany. And then they compared Trump to Hitler. And now they're just like flippantly comparing out, this prison, temporary. It's not even a prison. I mean, it's a temporary holding facility for people that are intended to be deported to Auschwitz. I mean, it's disgusting.
Well, I go back to everything that they've been saying for the past, 5-6 months now. Keep going. Keep doing. I don't want them to change the path where they're going right now, Drew, because what's going to happen is, if they keep this up and people are getting very weary around the country about this, they're going to put themselves in such a corner that they won't even be relevant anymore.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've seen, whether it's the mayoral race in New York City with Mamdani, or now this new Somali American in Minneapolis. They obviously have made the decision that is counter to what the results of the most recent election proved, which is that their communism is not popular in America, and it doesn't win elections. Now, they can win isolated elections, for example, in Minneapolis, probably, where you imported Somalians who hate America, so you can get a win there. But a national election, forget about it. And if these deportations take place, and they must take place, you're talking about the eradication of the entire Democrats' plan to take over the country in perpetuity for the last 50, 60 years.
Yep.
It's
all been about illegal immigration.
Yep. Here's another one of my thoughts and my theories. Stupid people, because they're stupid, think everybody else is as stupid as they are. So, oh my God, I said her name all morning and can't help me.
Jasmine Crockett, AOC.
Nope. Oh my God.
Congressperson?
Yeah, from New York, curly hair.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wasserman Schultz.
Schultz.
Debbie
Yeah.
Wasserman Schultz. She did, like, remember when we were in school and we didn't do our homework, so we had to go to the school nurse and be sent home from school, and then they take your temperature, and then as soon as they turn their back on you, you rub it against your leg, or you put it in front of the heater so it goes up. That's what she was doing to say it was 110 degrees in there.
I had a field day talking about her on my show yesterday, because it's so funny. It's like she gave this description of alligator Alcatraz, which exactly described a prison. These people are in a cell, and they have a bed, and they have 3 toilets to use, and a sink with running water. And this is outrageous. These people should, put them in your home, Wasserman Schultz. I'm sure Trump would be happy to make a deal with you. You know, we can put a fence around your house. You probably already have one, like, you know, and you can house all these illegal criminals in your home. You know, where's that offer?
But Drew, you missed something. They're giving them food.
Yeah, they're getting food. Yeah, we're still subsidizing them right now. So I want them out of here ASAP. Get out of my country.
That's right. Okay, let's get onto your state that you live in, and bless your heart for living there. John Solomon said that California is running 67% on clean energy, and all that does is double the price of everything. Drew's gas and electric bill last month was $700 a month, and he's paying $6 a gallon for gas. You got 1 minute to answer that, Drew.
Yeah, well, that was a shocking thing to me. I want to look more into it because obviously I live here, and I feel the pain that is put on the residents here because of the Democrat policies. But that's true. My gas electric bill, it's combined here, it was $700 last month. And I mean, I don't know. I talked to my dad in Texas. It's like $200. He's got a home that's more than twice the size of mine. It's just outrageous, and I just don't know how people continue to tolerate and vote for this. I mean, that alone. I mean, if I had $500 in my pocket a month, I mean, imagine what I could do. I've got 2 daughters. I've got, $700. That's a mortgage for some people.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'll just leave you with one headline from the Babylon Bee. Illegal immigrants removed from the census, leaving California with a population of 12. Right. Drew, thanks so much, man. We'll talk next week, okay?
All right. Talk then. Thanks, guys.
All right. See you, brother.
He brings up a great point. They describe alligator Alcatraz like it's a prison or something.
It's some kind of a prison. How dare you put these people who are illegal, who never caused a crime in their lives?
Where's the
shuffleboard coming across the border?
What's going on here?
It's a misdemeanor to cross the border. By the way, it's not a crime. That's what they say.
Who said that?
The Democrats. It's not a crime. It's a misdemeanor. Oh, what's a misdemeanor? It's
a crime. Oh my God, I can't. I just can't take it.
You can,
I can't do it.
No, you can't.
Nope.
You can.
Okay,
Try.
Okay.
All right.
1 more hour in our 3-hour tour. You know what, Ken? There's
Vic?
so many. Hey,
What, Vic Porcelli?
Don't. There's so much audio from crazy loony lefties. We should do Looney Tunes.
We should.
All right, let's do that.
Let's do
11:25. You shut up, man. After the news, we'll do that on 1019 and 94.1.
Don't.
Oh, God, I swear I'm going to kill you.
Replacing your windows and doors? Do not settle for ordinary. Go extraordinary. Renewal by Anderson, the full-service window and door replacement division of Anderson, a name trusted for more than 120 years. Their exclusive FiberX material combines the strength, durability of wood with low-maintenance features of vinyl. You get windows and doors twice as strong as vinyl, energy efficient, built to last. For a limited time, get 25% off every window, patio door, or entry door. No payments for 18 months, 0 interest. This is their best new client discount. Dial pound 250, say the keyword windows, or visit rbastl.com. Pound 250, keyword windows, rbastl.com. Get your free estimate. Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service.
Remember those magical moments in Mom's kitchen? The heavenly aroma of fresh baked cookies? At Trolley Stop Bakery in Chesterfield's Forum Shopping Center, our co-op of talented bakers has been perfecting that homemade magic for 4 decades. From the gooeyest cookies in town to custom pies, cobblers, and cakes, everything's made from scratch, just like Mom and Grandma's recipes. Need that perfect corporate gift? We ship our famous cookies nationwide. The Trolley Stop Bakery, 67 Forum Shopping Center, or TrolleyStopBakery.com. Because some traditions are too sweet not to share.
Hey folks, Jamie Allman here. Exciting things are happening at the Hideout in High Ridge. Famous for the Sunset Patio, 4 big screen TVs, live music and events, and of course, the wings. The Hideout now has a brand new menu featuring handcrafted burgers and new items like their signature sunset dip and Dave's Chili. And now a second location, the Hideout at Sugar Creek Golf Course in High Ridge, featuring great event space. You can stop by for lunch or dinner. The new 2025 Hideout and the new Hideout at Sugar Creek Golf Course. We'll see you there.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Russia does not appear to be concerned about President Trump's warning over the war in Ukraine. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with that report.
The president threatened economic penalties if Russia doesn't agree to a peace deal within 50 days. At the Kremlin, officials described Donald Trump's statements as very serious and said they would require further analysis. But top Russian security official Dmitry Medvedev said Russia didn't care about the president's theatrical ultimatum. Donald Trump also announced a deal to ship weapons to Ukraine through NATO countries. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also at townhall.com, 2 people in New Jersey killed after their vehicle was swept up in floodwaters during a storm that moved across the Northeast overnight. Their names not released. Meanwhile, New York City's subway system is fully operational following overnight heavy rains, but some roads in New Jersey remain closed, and there were dozens of flight delays and cancellations at area airports. One well-known New Yorker is refusing to throw in the towel.
Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who wants to be the city's next mayor, put out a video message Monday saying the fight isn't over after losing the Democratic primary in June. Democratic Socialist and Assembly member Zoran Mamdani beat Cuomo by 12 percentage points.
My opponent, Mr. Mamdani, offers slick slogans, but no real solutions.
Cuomo says only 13% of New Yorkers voted in the June primary, and November is a long way off. Julie Walker, New York.
John MacArthur, pastor of Grace Community Church in Sun Valley, California, died Monday at the age of 86 after a battle with pneumonia. He was a longtime valued member of the Salem Radio Network family. On Wall Street, the Dow dropping 252 points, the NASDAQ up 144. More at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Hungry for the best steak you'll ever have? Head to the heart of Moscow Mills and discover Harry J's, a local landmark and family-owned steakhouse, serving up excellence since '98. From mouth-watering appetizers to decadent desserts, Harry J's has something for everyone. Enjoy our extensive bar selection while soaking in our friendly family atmosphere. Whether dine-in or carry-out, your meal is prepared to perfection. Make the drive to 300 Main Street and treat yourself to a taste of Moscow Mills' finest. Harry J's, more than a steakhouse. We're a tradition.
Looking for a hardware store that treats you like family? Welcome to True Value Schneider's Hardware, your local gem in Old Town St. Peters. For over 100 years, we're proudly serving St. Charles County, providing everything from lawn and garden supplies to plumbing and electrical. Need a bolt or fastener? We've got you covered. And don't forget, we're a steel dealership. Whether you need sales, parts, or service, ask for Charlie or Jerry when you come in. We're here to help. Call 636-278-4461 or visit us online at truevalue.com/Schneiders.
Jamie Allman here with the Allman Report. Pleased to be with Jordan Rosenblum. Google the bagel loan. That's what it's all about. Jordan, tell me about purchasing a home, brother.
Purchasing a home right now, it's a tough market. You're going to see a lot of competition. On the bagel loan that we have, you're going to have no closing costs, no title fees, no appraisal fees, no lender fees. Saves an average client almost $4,000 on a transaction. Customer service, unbelievable. Text, call anytime.
As I know, as a real estate agent, Google the bagel loan. Google the bagel loan, folks.
NMLS number 226715.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. I invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. You can stay connected with us to learn more about how you can get involved, make your voice heard, and contribute to our shared goals. Together, we can make a difference in the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. For more info, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC, Curtis Farber, Treasurer. This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
A 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
Every time I hear this music, nobody's answered the question. Did Dan Bongino report for work yesterday?
I believe I did read that he did.
He did?
Yes.
So he's back to work.
I think so.
Okay. Just like to know who's on the Epstein list. So all we'd like to know. So the wall that heals. Can we talk about that for just a couple seconds here?
Yes. Please.
The wall that heals is a replica. Is that a good word? Replica?
Yes.
Of the Vietnam veteran wall.
And almost full size.
Yeah. The Vietnam Memorial Wall, which is, you don't even have to know anybody whose name is on that wall. Just feel the emotion when you're there. It's really incredible. So they're going to escort the wall that heals from Queenie Park, Greensfelder Recreation Complex, where my son's high school graduation was, by the way, on Wideman Road in Manchester. And they're going to escort the wall from there down to the Jefferson Barracks Park. So we have called on bikers in the past, and the bikers have always come through for us, always. That veteran at Jefferson Barracks who had no family, nobody to represent him at a funeral. We asked bikers to go down there, and they came out by the hundreds.
Right.
So for the wall that heals, can we make this like crazy sick amount of bikers out there to escort this thing down to Jefferson Barracks? Is that too much to ask?
That'd be awesome. And I know that they start at Greensfelder Park. And on the podcast yesterday that I posted, it has all the links to that.
Oh, great.
So if you want to look it up, go to our podcasts. You'll find that at NewstalkSTL.com/Porcelli.
Who's that, Porcelli?
You.
Okay.
And then you'll find it there.
So, Larry Connors is a former biker. His vision has not allowed him to ride much lately, but he knows a lot of guys, and he's going to spread the word. And I guess that's really my message to you right now, is if you are a biker, for goodness sakes, or if you know a biker, ask them to spread the word. Because, Ken, if you ask the bikers to come out, they'll come out.
Yeah.
They never let you down. So I would love to see this look like Rolling Thunder. That many bikes. And because that Rolling Thunder, man, when you watch videos of that on YouTube or whatever, with the sound up real loud, there's nothing better.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, they're trying to, thank God that there's no more Jennifer Granholm, because that would have been next. Oh, we're going to mandate electric motorcycles. So here's what Rolling Thunder would have sounded like. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
So please try to do it. The kickstands, I love that too. And by the way, this is perfect for me because we get off at noon, and then the kickstands up at 1 p.m. so I can make it there to Queenie Park and watch them take off. It's so close to my house.
Yeah.
You know. So do that for us, please. Okay, be part of the escort. Have your friends be part of the escort. And somebody asked if they could take their Toyota. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just take the muffler off so you sound like a motorcycle.
Well, you could take this or that, Vic. Your this or that machine.
Oh, yeah.
And travel with them as well.
Sorry, I didn't know. I don't know if you meant you can go with this or you could go with that. Remember that commercial?
Yes.
It was for like Kia Soul, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was really actually a good commercial.
Do you remember the drummer? Because they were all like, what kind of animals were they? They were
I don't know what they,
or something
like that. Yeah.
And the drummer was like stoned playing the drum.
Right.
Oh my God, it was so good.
And for those who don't know, Vic's cars, he and his wife's cars have the license plate this, and one has that.
Right.
Just so you know.
Is that queer?
No, it's pretty cool actually.
Fun, yeah. My wife's is this, and I'm that. Long story I don't want to get into right now, but maybe one day we'll tell that story. So the wall.
Well, I thought of your plate this morning. I saw a plate that I was following. It said her 19, and it was almost like a riddle because I was counting on my fingers leading up to S. So it's 19 is S. So it's hers.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah,
but somebody had already
19.
taken hers. I guess.
Correct.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'll tell the story. So my wife is very, very fond of on social media when she really likes somebody else's post and she reposts it, and she'll just write this,
right.
So she goes, I wonder if this is available for a license plate. And I said, really? In all the years they've been doing vanity plates in the entire state of Missouri, you don't think anybody would have taken this? So she looks, she goes, guess what, dork? It's available. So I said, well, check that. And that was available. So now we have this and that. And that's our license plates. And that's how
I love it.
I always have to park on the left and she always has to park on the right. So it's this and that.
So you know what's happening right now? There are people out there going, okay, to go to S, it's A, B, C, D. They're using their hands to count up to
That's
S.
so funny. Well, you figured that one out.
I did the same thing.
But I didn't want it to be. I didn't want anything to be a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like when people use 8s for, and back E's for. I just wanted it to be words.
Right.
This and that. There's no question.
I think it's great. You got it.
Okay, so Greenfelders Recreation Center. That's the skating rink at Queenie Park on Wideman Road. And, I would love to see, and you know what, too? We should call our news partners, KMOV, and see, why don't you get some cool video of all these motorcycles escorting the wall that heals down in Jefferson Barracks?
Great idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Jeff about that. Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I wasted too much time on that.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
Just enough.
I wasted just enough time on that. All right, Ken, let's break out the old Wayback Machine. You have the WD-40? Is it all WD-40?
Yeah, it's up there on the screen. We're ready to go with the time machine.
Rev it up. Rev up the time machine. There we go. Going back to the year 2019.
Yeah.
2019.
I'm always busy when that happens.
Now, do you remember when Joe Biden and people on the left, Democrats, well, I didn't get there yet, but and Hillary Clinton, I'm going to shut coal mines down. I'm going to shut them down.
Yeah,
she actually said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're a coal miner, sorry, you're out of work. Oh, but Joe had a great idea for coal miners.
Anybody who could go down 300 to 3,000 feet in the mine, sure and hell can learn how to program as well. Give me a break. Anybody who can throw coal into a furnace can learn how to program, for God's sake.
Give me a break, for God's sake.
I don't get the connection.
I don't either.
If you can shovel coal into a furnace, you must be a computer operator that you can learn how to code.
All I know is my daughter is getting a lot of money to go to school for 4 years to even get in the entry level part of coding and programming. So, I'm just saying.
But can she shovel coal into a furnace?
I think she could have done that 4 years ago.
What a stuffy thing to say to people
Right.
who've made their whole life mining coal. And I don't even think, you want to know the truth, Ken? I don't think any of them even understood the whole fossil fuel thing. It's like somebody heard somebody say fossil fuel. Ooh, I like that word. I'm going to use
Yeah,
that word.
yeah.
Let's get rid of fossil fuel.
Right.
'Cause that's what they do. They hear a word, they like it, and then they go with it, you know?
And they were calling it non-renewable energy, which, by the way, we found out that it's not non-renewable. It is renewable.
How about you need coal to charge your electric car?
Right.
God, they're so stupid.
Now, remember, we're still in the Wayback Machine in 2019, Vic.
Get there.
Okay.
You
all
rush
right,
me
that's
there,
good.
Sherman.
Okay.
I guess you'd be Sherman and I'd be Mr. Peabody, right? Isn't that right?
Yeah, probably.
Sherman, you just hold your horses. That's the first time I ever tried Mr. Peabody, so give me a break. So anyway, 2019, Joe Biden told coal miners, for God's sakes, you lazy bastards, learn how to code.
Right.
What a terrible thing to say to somebody who has made their whole life part of coal mining and power through coal.
Now, I would argue that if you're a bureaucrat that's being downsized in our government, you could probably learn how to code.
Yeah. What does that have to do with coal miners?
Well, because now they should be saying that to these people, but they're not.
Oh, gotcha, Ken. Gotcha.
All they're saying is, oh, look at them poor people.
Did you see them with their cardboard boxes
Yeah.
walking out of the state
And they're
Department?
clapping for them.
Nobody ran a story like that for us.
Or the coal miners.
Well, forget the coal miners. Us. No,
Right.
I'm kidding. I'm
No, I
kidding.
know.
But when iHeartRadio laid off 2,000 people across the country, more than the State Department did,
right?
Nobody cared.
Nobody did.
Nobody came and saw us, got our cardboard box filled with our stuff.
Well, one person came to you, the security guard, I believe.
And you know what? We didn't even get that. We didn't even get to fill up a cardboard box. Right then, you're done. Get out.
Wow.
We'll send your stuff to your house.
Okay.
So they don't have money to pay me, but they had money to box up. I have my gold records on the wall in my
Yeah.
office. They'll pay to pack all that stuff up and send it to me, but not actually pay me to do the highest rated show.
The highest rated show. Number one when you were fired.
Okay, so we're in 2000. We've never done this before. Can we go just a couple of years ahead, but not all the way back to the present?
All right, let me try that.
Let's
Here
go
we
back.
go. Here we go.
Set it to 2021.
Okay, here we go. 2021. There we go. That's all.
Perfect.
That's all you got.
It's only 2 years, right?
Right.
It only took that long. Oh, look. What was that?
Oh,
for?
it's just it wanted to make sure that the time was right.
Okay.
Okay.
Was that from 60 Minutes?
I think.
That's what it sounds like. So General Mark Milley, he was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, discussing his communications with the enemy.
Did you or did you not tell him that if we were going to attack, you would let him know?
As part of that conversation, I said, General Lee, there's not going to be a war. There's not going to be attack between great powers. And if there was, the tensions would build up. There'd be calls going back and forth from all kinds of senior officials. I said, hell, General Lee, I'll probably give you a call, but we're not going to attack you. Trust me, we're not going to attack you. These are two great powers, and I am doing my best to transmit the president's intent, President Trump's intent, to ensure that the American people are protected from an incident that could escalate.
I understand your intent, but I think you articulating that you would tell him, you would give him a call, I think is worthy of your resignation.
And treason.
I just think that's against our country, that you would give our number one adversary that information and tell him that.
And that was Missouri's Vicky Hartzler, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, hell, General Lee, I'll probably give you a call, but we're not going to attack you.
That's treason, man.
I know.
So another Mark Milley incident, when the Chinese spy balloon flew over America, over military installations, by the way, he was like, no, okay, just let it go. Just let it go. And then he called his buddy, General Li Zongyang, and said, yeah, it's okay. Just get all the information you need. And then we'll have to shoot it down later, but you'll be able to upload all the information from our military installations.
But the shooting down will make us look really, really good. And I've said this before, and I know that people listening right now remember this. Prior to what went on from Obama on till now, if any enemy flew anything within the boundaries of our country, it would have been shot down immediately, no matter what was on the ground. It would have been shot down within 20 miles of our border.
Yeah.
Or at least warned to get out.
Right. And Milley, he did that whole rant about white rage and all that. And what really bothers me the most about Mark Milley was he had that badass look to him. You know, like he always looked mad. His eyebrows rose down and big bushy eyebrows.
Yeah, he's ready to.
He looked like a badass.
He's ready to fight.
And he was just a weirdo, you know, who said, you know, that the military should be woke and pronouns and all that stuff. All right, get us back to the present. Right on time, Ken.
Yeah.
Boy, you're good at that. Holy
Man.
cow. So there's a couple of crazy things that the left says. We're not even done with that because every day, twice a day, 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, what we call the legal ID comes on the radio, and it's for Tim Jones and Chris Arps. And Tim says, "Oh, you loony!" Like he sounds so mad. You loony leftists, whatever he says.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm glad he's not yelling at me.
Right.
You know? So
he's pretty mad when he does that.
Yeah. So we're going to have a little Looney Tune extravaganza coming up in just a bit. Hey, want to help out the St. Louis Young Republicans? Trivia night, July 25th. That's next Friday, 6:30. And it'll be at the St. Louis County GOP headquarters on Gravois Bluffs Boulevard. You can't miss it. It's right there. Go to NewstalkSTL.com and register your team, you know, study up or whatever you do before trivia night and go out there on the 25th. Hi, Brad.
I knew you would say it. I was watching you. I knew you couldn't deal with it. Hi, Brad.
I have to. That is one of the most paused moments in movie history. Like back in the day of VHS.
Oh, yeah.
All the Fast Times at Ridgemont High tapes were all like really thin right there.
I don't know what happened with my tape, mister, at Blockbuster. It just broke right there at that spot. I don't know
But
what
look
happened.
at it. I mean, you know, it's Phoebe Cates. Hi, Brad. All right, Looney Tunes next on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk.
Like us on Facebook at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Timmy.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Live and local.
Listen to what those local folks are telling you.
News Talk STL.
Hey, Columbo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
Concerned about the condition of your windows, driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
To our brave police officers and first responders, we say thank you for risking your lives to protect us. To all the incredible volunteers who've joined hands with the David Dorn Foundation to raise funds for equipment and services, we extend our heartfelt gratitude. We stand strong with our volunteers who give their time, talent, and dedication as a shield of support for those who rush into danger. The David Dorn Foundation gives a big thank you from our heart to yours. Visit dornfoundation.com and join as a volunteer.
This is Mark Harder with RE/MAX Results, the #1 RE/MAX franchise in the region. As a licensed real estate broker with RE/MAX Results for over 20 years, I've seen the ups and downs of many real estate markets, including the one we're in right now. With the spring market in full swing, now is the time to leap into the buying or selling of your home. Someday is not a day. Today is the day to make your move. Call me at 314-852-8933 or email me at markhardersells@gmail.com.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
Love the all-new Newstalk STL app.
On my way to work in the morning.
Usually I'm in the car.
I listen on the app in my car every morning going to work.
Download the News Talk STL app and listen anytime, anywhere. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
On News Talk STL.
We are going to fight it legislatively. We are going to fight it in the courts, and we're going to fight it in the streets.
Nothing violent about that rhetoric from House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. So, again, I'll say Tim Jones, when he says you loony left, I forget when he says something really funny, though, because the left are loony. And that leaves us to our next segment called Looney Tunes. While we're on it, let's hear some more from Representative and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will, of course, be identified.
So we're just going to dox you, federal agents.
Yeah, but that's what we want.
So ridiculous.
No, let's again, this is being on the offensive. What they're saying is, hey, ICE, we need to unmask you. Now, Antifa and BLM, you guys can mask up all you want all day long.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't care about that. We want ICE to be demasked because you know why? Well, it's because we want to identify you. No, well, what? I mean, well, no, I mean, all we want to do is just make sure that you're the ICE, you're ICE, not to go to your homes or tell your families or anything like that.
When you're Supreme Court justice, no problem. We'll just, dox you and protesters will go to your house. That's fine.
That's okay.
Kavanaugh, no problem.
Yeah, remember during the Biden administration, they let it go?
Yep.
Yeah. Just don't forget that stuff.
Don't forget. All right? Because if you forget, then he yells at me. All right? So don't you forget, because he doesn't yell at you. He yells at me. Ken, I'm talking about. Right?
Right.
Okay. Let's move on to another another loony lefty. This is Boston Mayor. Woo!
I don't know of any police department that routinely wears masks. We know that there are other groups that routinely wear masks. NSC 131 routinely wears masks.
Mayor, just to clarify, are you comparing ICE, you said, to NSC 131, the neo-Nazi group? Are you comparing them to a neo-Nazi group?
What I said is that Boston Police and no police department that I know of at the local level routinely wears masks.
You didn't mention BLM or RNT for any of those.
Nope. Antifada, none of that stuff. So the wearing of the masks, I mean, it's so ridiculous. I don't want to say it's part of the uniform, but if that's what they were told to wear, that's what they wear for their own protection. Because believe it or not, more than half of the people in this country are very concerned about the safety of all the ICE agents.
Can I ask you, okay, they want to stop ICE. They want to stop them. So in order for them to stop them, they can't really mention the real reason why they want to stop them is to keep their constituency in the United States.
Right.
So what do, Vic? They say the masks. It's the masks. It has nothing to do with anything else. Everything's fine what you're doing, but those masks, they're really bothering us.
So that's a good point. So let's just play hypotheticals. Let's say the ICE agents were doing the same exact raids, but without masks. They'd bitch about something else.
Right. It'd be something new.
They're not wearing proper shoes.
Look at those pants.
They are not wearing protective shoes.
Do they have the labeling on their shirts correct? No, I don't think so.
So ridiculous. All right, let's hear number 6, Ken.
Yeah.
More Looney Tunes. This is the looniest of all Looney Tunes, New York Representative Dan Goldman.
I will be introducing a bill that will prevent Homeland Security officers from hiding or concealing their identities and wearing masks, because we don't live in a country, an authoritarian country, where we have secret police who are masked, who are intimidating, who are scaring people. That's the stuff of authoritarian states. That is not the stuff of that's not how the United States operates.
You know what, Representative Goldman? Change your last name, okay? Change it to Jones or Smith or something like that, because you're a Jew and you're comparing what's happening now to what happened to Jews in the 1930s and 40s when they were all killed and thrown into gas chambers. Any of these detainees thrown in a gas chamber yet?
So insensitive.
Were any of them chosen for selection to live or die right there on the spot?
No.
Were any of them just shot for no reason whatsoever?
No, but they are in cages, Vic, and they have bathrooms. They get fed, and the room temperature is 72 degrees, but it's just like the gas chamber.
Now, hold on a second. Now, Debbie Wasserman Schultz said it was 110 degrees.
If you're aiming that thermometer or that measuring device at a light bulb, it's going to be 120 degrees in there.
How stupid was that, by the way, to use a third grade thing? If I rub this thermometer against my pants, it'll be 105, and she'll send me home.
Remember when I did that in 4th grade? It worked.
Yes, Mrs. Williams, your son has a temperature of 140. Oh, I better come and get him.
Hey, do you remember back in the days of Biden? It was just a few years ago. All of these different FBI agents and Department of Justice, they had masks on. Back then, nobody cared.
It's so ridiculous that they don't think we have videotape and they don't think we have firsthand accounts of things. We just guess at what we've done. And so, okay. So that there has to be a meeting, right? They don't just come out. All these people we played so far, they didn't just come out of the woodwork and say all this on the same day just by chance.
Yeah, I know, all of them.
I don't believe in coincidence. So they had to have had a meeting, and then they say, okay.
We don't have anything. We have nothing.
So here's what we're going to make up.
Right.
Because we have nothing. Let's get on the masks. Let's say that they shouldn't wear masks. That should work.
And then, what do you mean, though? What do you mean? I don't understand.
Nobody at the table said, we wore masks when under the Biden administration. Like, nobody clearly said that.
Well, somebody probably said that, and then they said, shut up.
Probably
We don't care.
Shot him
We
right
don't care. We don't, the media's on our side. They're not going to bring that up.
What are you, a Trump lover? Just sit there and shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who cares?
Let's hear from Representative Pramila Jayapal. Am I saying that right?
Pretty close.
I remember I said it very, very wrong for a while. Go ahead.
What is deranged and cruel and outrageous is that literally we are seeing ICE agents. I assume they're ICE agents. They say they are. They don't have any identification. They're wearing masks. They're in plain clothes. They are coming and kidnapping and disappearing people.
Let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection.
I had to. I'm sorry.
I will never get old. It will never get old. So, Ken, you're right. The masks was the plan at the meeting. Let's talk about them wearing masks so we don't know their identification, so we can't go dox them and shoot their children or something. I don't know if they said shoot your children, but so we can go.
What do they want? Why do they want to demask these ICE agents? These are federal officials. These are law enforcement officers. Why do they want to demask them? Mm-hmm. There's only one point here. There's only one reason, and it has nothing to do with exposing them and saying, well, we just want to make sure that you're a law enforcement agent, because that's what they're using. Every one of them, again, Vic, they're doing it in sync. They're all saying, here's the reason why. We just want to make sure that they are actually ICE agents that are there.
And they could make one of those montages where everybody says the same thing, right?
Oh, they could.
I'll bet you could find local anchors from around the country that all say it just that way, like they always do, because they don't have a brain for themselves,
right,
to figure anything out. All right. More Looney Tunes, the looniest of all Looney Tunes. I think that this Looney Tune was actually not born, but was drawn by one of the Warner Brothers guys, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the...
Stop it.
I know, man.
So first of all, he can't even say the word Gestapo. I'm surprised the waiters didn't go out and give everybody gazpacho soup.
Gazpacho.
Go ahead, do it again. He just...
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo.
I'll take the Gestapo. I'll take the gazpacho. Gazpacho is like cold soup.
Oh.
And I think somebody might have ordered it Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Scooping folks up off the streets.
Scooping soup into your plate.
Scooping folks off the street.
They're in unmarked vans wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons.
Oh my God!
I know.
Oh my God!
He's speaking at a college, I think at a graduation.
So scooping people off the street, sending them to torture dungeons. So when I hear torture dungeons, I think of the comics, like The Wizard of Id. Do you remember The Wizard of Id comics?
Yeah.
The King is a Fink.
Right.
Remember? They'd always have a guy in chains hanging
Yeah.
on the wall.
Right.
And he was been there for like 100 years. That's a torture chamber, not we need to find a here we go. This may actually work. Air-conditioned alligator Alcatraz. This will all have A's.
Yeah.
Right? Air-conditioned alligator Alcatraz. Sounds nice.
I want to go there.
I just can't believe. Is that it? Is that all for him?
No.
No, go ahead.
No chance to mount a defense. Not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye.
Stop.
Can we get over that? Because I was watching a video the other night, and there was this man. He was an American, and he was being arrested because he was doing illegal stuff. And his kids were in the car, but they caught him and they handcuffed him and took him away. And the kids went to family services. So that's what happens every day when Americans do something illegal.
Let's talk about Tony Soprano. When the FBI came to his house and handcuffed him right in front of his wife and his kids, took him away with no legal defense. You don't have to get the legal defense until you can start getting questioned.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to attorney. If you can't afford attorney, one will be supplied to you. Not that I know this.
You know that too well.
Not that anybody read it to me.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Okay. So here's one from my old home state of New Jersey. Representative LaMonica McIver. Remember her? She tried to break into the federal building
She's a criminal.
That was holding gang members inside the facility, remember?
Right.
Who are criminals. And now so is she.
We will not take this.
Whoa.
We will fight.
Back off the mic a little bit there, honey.
Yeah,
Just back off.
It's bad.
Bit.
It's bad. She goes to war though.
Right back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and damn it shuts down the city.
Stop. This is reminding me too much of Diamond and Silk. Did you ever watch Diamond and Silk?
I loved them
when she was alive?
Yeah.
And Diamond would say stuff, and Silk would go, that's right.
That's right.
8. Yep. That's what he said. That's what this lady in the background is doing. I don't know if you hear this lady in the background. She's doing the same thing. Go ahead.
We are at war. Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war.
Now, forget the $480 million that were given to them in the swing states in 2020. That's okay though.
I think the same person set up her microphone that set up Maxine Waters when if we see them going into a gasoline station.
You know what's crazy about that is that Maxine Waters was standing right next to her.
So she probably hooked it up herself.
Yeah.
Okay, just one more quick one, Ken.
Yeah.
And then we'll call it a day. Poor woman. Grew up so poor in the ghettos of Ladue. Jasmine Crockett.
Connect the dots. Most people voted the wrong way because they were uneducated.
I had no idea. We're uneducated.
I know.
Because we disagree with her.
Yep.
All right, that's all the time we have for Looney Tunes. All right.
Woosh.
Yeah. Ken, you're on fire today, baby. On fire.
Thanks, Vic.
Vic for Vets tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
Yes.
11:05. We'll honor another veteran.
Hey, send me a veteran. Step out. Send a veteran. Ken at NewstalkSTL.com.
We all know a veteran.
Yeah, name, rank, military service, branch, and in a story.
Yeah. And we'll honor them 11:05 tomorrow. All right, chat box time is next on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
On the next Larry Connors USA.
Trump's still working on trying to get Russia and Ukraine to cease shooting. Will he be successful?
Larry Connors USA.
Now, weeknights 6 until 8.
On News Talk STL.
Getting new flooring can be exciting, or it can be a hassle. To make sure you have a great experience, use Michael's Flooring, like I did. Hi, it's Susie Moore, and Michael's Flooring has become my go-to for quality, variety, and an all-around great experience. They've been locally owned and operated for more than 30 years. Carpet, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile, natural stone, luxury vinyl, it doesn't matter. Michael's Flooring is ready to help. 3 locations to pick from: St. Peter's, Darting Prairie, and Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloor.com. That's igotfloor.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Nate Lucas here for the Village Bar in the heart of Des Peres. Since 1948, the Village Bar has been the go-to destination for delicious food, cold drinks, and unbeatable atmosphere. Savor their famous wings, burgers, and onion rings, or grab a drink from their fully stocked bar. Catch all the big games and enjoy the company of their friendly staff. Plus, don't miss the 1879 Distillery, a one-of-a-kind experience right next door. The Village Bar offers the best value in town. Find the Village Bar on Facebook and come experience where history meets great times. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, News Talk STL listeners, this is Levi, CEO of Reach Reproductive Health. There was a huge gap left when the biggest pregnancy center in St. Louis had to close their doors right after Amendment 3. But by God's grace and power, Reach has been able to step into that space. We have acquired Thrive centers and are continuing operations in greater St. Louis. I have a request for you. Would you pray and consider getting to know Reach more? We are here to see babies saved and families transformed by the power of Christ. Get to know us on our Reach community website, outreachforlife.org. That's outreachforlife.org.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
You're going to like this guy. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. You understand?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Understood. Jessica from the Allman Brothers Band. Just know anytime you hear this song, it's always from my wife. Sorry if you have a Jessica in your life. I called it. Callsies. I called
Just
it.
remember the mechanically inclined Jessica.
You had to see her, man. I was handing her screwdrivers, and that was about it. God, I'm so worthless. I don't know how to do anything. All right, let's do chat box. Let's start with Rumble today because, to know the truth, the Rumble people are the most feistiest if you don't do everything exactly the way they want it.
Yeah.
Ed Stoit says, numero uno. Good morning, freedom fighting patriots. Thank you, Allison. Hey, Allison, how you doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair elections.
No peace.
No fair tariffs.
No peace.
President, don't make me kick your ass, Trump.
Yeah.
So, the quotes. Good morning, all you beautiful mega, ultra patriotic, deplorable, garbage, degenerate, freedom fighting, God fearing, Vic head weirdos. Damn it. I could do without the O'Reilly update. Allison says she could do without the O'Reilly update. First, hit the like button. Boy, you know what?
Hit it.
Thank you. Come on, guys. Come on.
Own it.
Help us out. Would it kill you? Would it kill you to go listen to our podcast and get the information for something from yesterday's show?
That's right. You can get the location of the escort.
Oh, right.
For the wall.
I want
heels.
I want that escort from Queenie Park to Jefferson Barracks Park to look
That's
like
Greensfelder Park. Is it?
It's Greenfelder The building is Greensfelder.
The
park is Queenie Park.
See, I'm not familiar with it.
It's my neighborhood.
Is it? Well, let me tell you something. My very, 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 very first band gig was outdoors to announce the band.
Yeah.
It was there.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son graduated inside the Greensfelder. It was ice rink.
Oh.
Okay. First, hit that like button. Yes. I turn O'Reilly down just enough to know when he's over to turn it back up again. I used to be a huge O'Reilly fan. Was even a member. Then he lost me. And then this guy named Ken starts chiseling in our chat box. You I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Someone explained to me why
How dare you?
Someone explained to me why I should give a flying
Don't you cuss on this here radio.
About Bill O'Reilly. He's at a touch arrogant and simply irritating. And Allison agrees. 101 stays up. Numero 40. Numero 40.
See, I would be numero 50 probably. I like that. Numero 50. That's Hispanic and that's Spanish.
What are you talking about?
Numero 50.
You were fifth?
I think I was.
Yours were before this one.
Oh.
So you were like numero 30.
Oh, okay.
You gotta.
I understand Spanish.
Me too. Can you count to 10 in Spanish?
Oh, 10, 20, 30.
You can't really?
Let's see. No. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, nueve, diez.
Siete, if it's 7.
Oh, I see. I'm missing them.
Siete,
it's been a long time.
Ocho, nueve, diez.
Yeah.
Vic Porcelli, great man of mechanical indisposition.
That's a nice way to put that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I guess.
I want to be clear.
It's thanks to you. It's thanks to you, guys like you, Vic, that my dad made a good living as a carpenter and I as a mechanic.
Precisely. That's exactly right.
Kept one person out of the workforce. Another possibility that somebody get in there and get a good union.
That's exactly right.
Save the date, October 11th, the Price of Freedom annual banquet honoring real American heroes, Don Gile and Colonel Jack Jackson among the speakers. And that is a presentation of the Great Washington Guard with our friend Colonel Joe Adams.
Oh, I love it.
I want one of Doug Giles' paintings. 101, come to the banquet. Major Galvin, thank you for your sacrifice. That was earlier on the show. We had 2 Marines on today.
Because he's a mensch.
Why did Millie even need a pardon? Why would the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff need a pardon, Ken?
The same reason why Fauci, his son Hunter, and his whole family needed one, because they know how Trump is. It has nothing to do with their performance, their behavior, their criminal activity. It has to do with the fact that Donald Trump is insane, and he will make sure that he makes them pay, which Donald Trump has never one time mentioned that.
Right. Thank you, Michael McNamara. Vic, Ken, thanks for this today, although you have me crying today and very emotional. We had 2 great Marines on talking about their time. I have a men's Bible study and accountability group I lead and mentor. We just discussed joy versus happiness versus community last night. When we share our burdens with others, we can hold on to our joy. Cubist has a heart and a clap, clap, clap. When our happiness wavers and through community, we are helped. You know, I think that's such an important thing. When people are depressed or whatever, you need conversation.
Yeah, it's really important because I know my dad, he passed from cancer. And so he was with us for 2 years with it. It was not sudden. My mom, on the other hand, it was out of left field. We lost her. And I never thought it bothered me until I started talking to people. And then when I started talking to my wife and other family members, my brothers primarily, I realized, wow, I really needed to get this off my chest. So it's very important.
We learned a lot about that this morning.
We really did, yeah.
When we are there for others, we help unload some of that burden as we walk with them. All right, so listen, I'm no genius, and I am no psychologist, but I told you the story about when I was at Carl's Deli waiting for my pastrami sandwich. There was a guy with a Vietnam hat sitting at the little table there, and I thanked him for serving, and then he just started talking. And he wouldn't stop talking. I was like, okay, this guy wants to talk.
Yeah.
So I just sat and talked to him because I realized nobody does. Our culture just doesn't value human life and dignity anymore.
Well, I don't agree with that because here's the thing. This is what the left wants us to do. Again, we appreciate humankind. We appreciate a different culture than the left.
Mm-hmm.
So the left, in order to gain control, they have to have us become divisive and individuals.
Mm-hmm.
It's the left that's trying to do that. I think we still have humanity. I really do. But they're trying to take it away. That's why we need to fight back.
And that's why if you know, I guess I don't say it enough, but I'll say it now. I'll always listen. I'll listen.
Right.
I will sit and have coffee with you, and I'll listen to anything you got to say.
Correct!
Does anyone know anyone in the biker unit that usually escorts veteran funerals? Please get a hold of them and ask them to get with Ken. Hey, don't tell me what to do.
I love the idea.
You're the GOAT, Ken. You're the GOAT. And he says his faith in Bongino is wavering. Can I drive my all-American 2001 bright red Chevy Silverado behind the bikers? You bet.
We'd love that.
You might not even have to take the muffler off of that one.
Hey, could you find a way to put a flag on top of that thing? Oh my God, that would be pretty. And the flag I'm talking about is, of course, the United States flag.
Just for fun. This is 101 straight up. Just for fun. How about a short segment called Biden's Boners?
I don't even know what to say.
Well, it's a mistake. A boner's a mistake.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
Well,
the
yeah,
Merkel boner.
Oh.
And the Giants and the Cubs back in 1901, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been great while he was the president.
And maybe while I was younger.
Yeah.
Think about what you'd think about at the time.
You could talk about his shared. Okay, this is getting I can't.
I know, because he's a
perv.
He's a perv.
Perv.
Right.
I want to be clear.
Or just learn coding, for crying out loud. What do you shovel coal into a furnace? Learn how to code. Think about what you think about.
Exponentially.
Vic, did you Hakeem Alugi again today? I did. Talking about Hakeem Jeffries. I can't stand the way he looks, talks, speaks. Just another leftist, anti-American scumbag. The Looney Tunes left. I can't. Just got to move on. Jews equal men, women, and children murdered by socialist Hitler. Don't compare the two. Stop it. Stop comparing the two.
Right.
Did you know Kevin Kline and Phoebe Cates are a long-standing couple in Hollywood, having been married since 1989? They met at an audition for the film The Big Chill in 1982. So do you think Phoebe says, hi, Kevin?
I bet she does.
What do you bet?
I would bet.
You think she recreates that scene for him?
I would bet. No, you know what? I want to bet. I want to know that.
Y'all fired. I want to see that. Oh, we're fired. Disappearing people, they know exactly where they are. They don't go poof. That's a great point. They don't get disappeared from the face of the earth and never to be seen again. They're in the jail.
Great point.
You want to visit them? Go visit them. They're not disappeared.
And that's what you do, though. If you're talking to someone on the left and they say that, you say, okay, who disappeared? Give me the names and we'll find them.
Right. Blue sky dirtbags are cheering the vile insults that leftist scumbags loudly hurled at Vance's kid during his trip to Disneyland. And some lefty on X put, boy, it must suck to be so hated that people boo you at Disneyland. And I was like, boy, it really must suck to hate like you people hate.
Oh, big time.
Right.
And you know what I love? Because I'm on Blue Sky as a alter ego. And don't
give it away.
I know. And they say things like Blue Cry. That's the name of the now it's Blue Cry. It's not Blue Sky anymore. And it's Blue Cry.
Blue Cry.
Blue Cry. This is a great website. Blue Cry.
God, leftists are reprehensible. Yelling into a mic always makes me laugh. Or in a gasoline station. Like fingernails on a chalkboard. Like many pairs of hands full of fingernails on chalkboards. Jackass crockett of poop.
We in these hot ass streets, honey.
They run education. If people are stupid, that tells me that Democrats are stupider. It ain't
literally
freaking rocket science.
Literally.
Department Education 0. President Trump 1.
Yeah.
It's endearing and adorable how Vic mispronounces names and words in the chat. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, most of the time, guys, it's on purpose.
What? Amy? Am I saying your name wrong? What am I?
No. When you're talking about topics and Jayapal.
Well, guess what? I can't.
And Mamdani.
I can't say some of the filth that you people put in the chat box.
And I love it, so keep it up. Keep it up.
Whoosh, Vic heads everywhere. We're in Facebook
Whoosh.
now. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but the more I hear Bill O'Reilly, the more I dislike him. Out of touch, egotistical, and just irritating. Here's something you might not know. I don't know about any of the rest of you. Oh, I just heard that. Marine Corps Day, better get the glue and crayons out. It's their favorite snacks. I never log in until I know his update is over. Yeah, okay, that was Bill O'Reilly. Good morning, Amy and Dave. Uh-oh. Good morning, all of you wonderful Vic heads. Thank you for having us along for the ride.
Good morning, St. Louis.
Dave says, how you doing, Amy?
Hey, how you doing?
And Dave says, hi, Ken and Nick. Whatever. Whatever. It's not funny.
Wee doggy deli, man. It sure is hot out there.
Oops, Ken and Vic.
Oops. That's a Midwest thing, by the way.
Oops is?
Oops, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it is.
Oopsie is. I grew up.
No, I'm not talking about like when you like whoopsie. I don't. That sounds corny.
So whoopsie is. There's whoopsie daisy and there's whoopsie. I can't think of the other one.
No, when you go to like a supermarket and you're pushing your cart and you run into somebody. Oops. That happens in the Midwest.
You're saying oop.
Oop.
That's different. There's no S on that.
Right.
I agree.
And
that's a Midwestern.
And if you do that like in Gulf Shores, like when we were down there, I did that at a Meyer station, grocery store, and they looked at me like, "What did you just say?"
All right, we got to move on. Whoosh, haircut still looks great, Vic. Thank you so much.
Whoosh.
So sad the North Rim fire destroyed a great place.
Yeah, my daughter's away from there, luckily, but she was there about a month ago.
Ken says Dave likes poking the bear. Dave says to Amy Mazzara, I got $1 that says Vic's going to tell us to get a room. Oh, that was a long time ago. That was 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. Amy says, you know it. So just call the Courtyard by Marriott. It's right across the street. Get a room.
This is taking forever.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, Michael Burton. Gee, I just don't have time for you because you're a pain in the ass. Good morning, freedom fighters. Just caught the tail end of the interview. Remarkable story from Michael McNamara. There's a great saying, I'd rather hear about the battles you were in than you lost the war. PTSD is one of the silent killers of my brothers and sisters. People like Michael bring light to it in a positive way. Thank you again for having him on. No, I mean, you know, these guys are the best.
Yeah.
The bravest. See, do you see what he does to me? Secret Service just locked down the White House. Get me out of here! All right, we'll check up on that, I guess. Okay, breaking news right on time when we leave. Jamie Allman's next. He's got his 3-martini lunch. Thank you so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Kenny and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We'll do it all over again for our 3-hour tour on 101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
See you, everybody.
Looking for treasures from the past? Discover Mimi's Antiques Attic, your locally owned and family-operated treasure hunt destination. Explore 16,000 square feet of antiques, crafts, collectibles, and designer items across 225 unique rental spaces. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7, and Sundays, 10 to 6 at 1000 Warrenton Shops in Warrenton. Mimi's Antiques Attic, where every visit uncovers new treasures.
Beat the summer heat with Johnson Heating and Cooling, your trusted local family business. We specialize in residential air conditioning service, furnace and AC replacement, new construction, finished basements, room additions, and energy-efficient geothermal systems. At Johnson Heating and Cooling, our motto is simple. We treat our customers like we want to be treated, with complete transparency and honesty. Call 636-3